9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to Thursday Night Life Fly Tying, the show where passion for fly fishing meets creativity and camaraderie. It's our 6th season, and we're thrilled to have you with us. Without all of you who purchased Season 6 kits and our fantastic sponsors, we wouldn't be able to keep going. So for this, we want to start with a huge thank you. Morning View Mercantile, Lyle Peterman Real Estate, Craft Bear Nation, Rocky Mountain Fly Shop, Shore Fishing, Fish Bond, Fly Fusion, and Friesen Brothers. Born in a humble brewery in 2018, our journey began with a simple idea: to bring together like-minded souls for an evening of stories, laughter, and the art of fly tying. Our doors were always open, our hearts always welcoming. When the tides of time brought challenges, we evolved. From a cozy corner in a brewery to screens across the world, Thursday Night Life Fly Tying transformed into a virtual stage, forging the unbreakable T&L fam. Every Thursday, join our hosts, the ever-entertaining Dana and the skilled artisan Tim, as they weave magic with their stories and skills. Dana brings the laughter, and Tim brings the craft. Tonight, as always, we tie 2 unique patterns, celebrate our wins, and share a toast with our favorite beverage from our friends at Craft Beer Nation. Stay tuned for surprises, FLYINGO, and prizes, and above all, the love that binds the T&L fam. Let's dive into the world of fly tying together.
What's up, party people?
People party.
Who's in the house?
Oh, darn.
Darn.
Salty.
That doesn't get you going.
I'm just getting going, Tim. You just give me time, and I'll shine. Sitting in your pork brine. I'm not going to sit on the couch and whine, but I'm going to take you to the kitchen and dine.
Oh.
That's mighty fine. Open up the door and let my light shine.
Oh, my God.
Oh, man.
Throw it down.
I ran out of words.
CJ Dana.
Well, I want to know how loud the music can be so that you can hear us, but you can hear the music.
Good question.
It's a good question. So, I love when the mouse kind of creeps in here like this.
Just a smidge.
If you think right now the music's too loud, let us know. Because I want this party to get started.
Get it popping.
Anyways, welcome. You've arrived at a special place called Thursday Night Live. Tim, I'm queuing you up and you're not even hitting it down.
It's not
That gives
in sync
this
yet.
guy a
I'm just
frown.
grooving.
That gives this guy a frown.
Oh, man.
You know, my job
in
is
town.
to just play some beats.
Yeah.
And
Look real sweet.
Cody is finally here. Stephen Lyle's on the YouTube.
What's up, Cody?
Scooter Tabor is in the house. Cole Clayton, Mr. Pape.
All the good
Pape.
people.
I just wonder if you know what the mix ratio is, because it's just getting some thumbs up, thumbs down. I like how loud it is in my ears.
Yeah, it sounds good in my
But I
ears,
feel like
but
it should kind of be down here a bit.
I don't know.
I don't know. We're never going to know. But what we do know is that we're about to get down with some. That's when you pick up your beer and say what it's called.
You gotta like give me some
Pick
more.
it up, and say, we're about to get down with some
Crouching tiger.
hidden dragon.
Yeah, baby.
Every time the music to stop it every time. All right, from our friends at Craft Beer Nation, we're about to drop down on a new drink.
Keep them coming. I'm gonna get one for 100, but I'll get it.
Oh, but what you guys forgot to ask is, what are we drinking? No, they didn't, Tim.
They weren't even asking.
They didn't ask. So let us know what you're drinking, where you're from. And just put that in the comments, because you can see your comments from YouTube and Facebook. And it looks like everyone's migrating over to Facebook, over to YouTube from Facebook. And that's pretty cool, because that's where we really want you to hang out. But if you're still on Facebook, that's fine too. And to be a double down, you might as well just open up both, chat from both sides. So our friends at Craft Beer Nation have supplied us with the craft beer for tonight and every other night. And we kind of give a completely... I've been trying to think of this word, but
Well, it's unbiased.
unbiased, unrivaled. It's rivaled.
And uneducated, because I really know nothing about it.
Except that we have taste buds and our flavor saver. And flavor saver.
I don't got one, but
Yeah, you do.
Well,
You've got
little
one more than anyone. So, without further ado,
it's
let
the
us know.
Crouching Tiger Asian Rice Lager. What do you got over there? What's yours?
Well,
I know they're
mine is the Hidden Dragon, and it's water, barley malt, hops, yeast, black lava salt. I was reading the French. And it's from Vacay Brew, brewed in Calgary, Alberta. Vacay Brew Co.
Oh, interesting. Nice.
So I don't know. Maybe it's a salted black lager. So maybe it's dark.
Maybe. I guess we'll
Hence
see.
the
Mine's
Hidden
not.
Dragon.
Dave was feeling pretty down in the dumps after last week.
Yeah. Well,
He
that
was,
that Kona Bona was. Oh, it is dark. It is dark.
My beer was really good, but you did
I'm
not
afraid to
enjoy yours.
pour it over top of my keyboard, because last time we had a bit of an eruption
An eruption.
of the volcano, the Kona volcano. So we're gonna tie some flies tonight. Salty night. If you've never tied saltwater flies, this is the place you're gonna start.
Yeah.
And we do gotta admit, there's a slight clerical error in
Clerical.
something.
Well, it's not a big deal. All right, I'm gonna see what this thing tastes like. So I got the Asian Rice Lager. This is a Tim kind of beer.
So
It's very light.
so I heard some chirping from the couch.
It is very smooth.
Seeing as such,
It might be
we might as well
lacking,
bring in the couch
oh,
cam.
Look, there they are.
Turn on their microphone, make them come to life.
Going on, guys?
Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. And what do we got there? That is straight up the captain.
El Capitan.
So, if the captain were to be so... Trying to zoom in on him. And these new Captain Clutch stickers. The captain showed up today, folks. And he also struggles with focusing. And he's going to pull himself. There it is. The new Season 6 Captain Clutch stickers are in the store. You can go get one, because today we're going to go through the doors of doom. We're going to play FLYINGO and all the good things. But the captain himself has showed up. And he said he's here to defeat the wizard. And then he brought his friend, Kenneth Ditch Party Man. who's also showing off
I'm
some.
going to Vegas in 2 days, man.
Well, there you are dressed for Vegas. So, this camera here is this one, and then if I were to do this,
Love that one.
look, I can do this, guys. I can do magic from over here. Look at that. That sticker's huge. It's 6 inches by 6 inches from the roll of dimes himself.
Times by 6,
he's got
divide by
more.
0.
He's learning how to work the look at that. And we got the
Oh, there
bropper.
it is. The
6
propper's
inches
in
by
those.
3 inches, the bropper. All
Even that
those,
looks really
all
big, eh?
those,
KK?
yeah, they're not focusing, but he's trying.
Roll of dimes
We got
by
some-
roll of nickels.
Roll of nickels. We got stickers, is what he meant. It's almost focusing. Step back a half an inch. Step back a
man.
roll of dimes. There you go.
The big roll of dimes.
That joke is never gonna get old.
All right. Anyways,
Sexy stickers.
we got stickers.
there it is. That's the boys on the couch. Stickers are there. Captain Clutch is there. And I'm about to try this salted block lager from Craft Beer Nation. Here we go.
Don't break Dave's heart 2 weeks in a row. Sorry, Dave. I can feel the heartbreak coming.
No, that's good.
You know, beer
Yeah,
linger.
is it good?
No,
beard,
that's,
beard, mustache. All good.
Pass this to the couch. You guys give it a wiggle.
The darker ones, you got to let settle again.
Yeah, but it's
Flavor,
good.
right?
It's really good. You got to try it. That's really good.
Oh,
That is good.
Setting us up here?
yes.
Oh, yeah. That ain't bad at all.
That is.
That's good.
Yeah, that's
Oh, there you go, Dave. You got a couple of winners.
winner.
Yeah. You guys finish that one off. That is great. That is the Hidden Dragon.
Try
And
this
it's so what it is, it's kind of like it's dark, but it doesn't taste dark. It tastes on the kind of the malty chocolatey side of things.
That's literally what I was gonna say. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
got that malty, chocolatey,
Yeah.
thick.
It's not a heavy.
No, it's not, and it's not
Be
after
prepared
tasty.
for something that doesn't have as much flavor.
well,
As you're
some
drinking
people
that, Tim, I'm like, that's a Tim.
That's
that
why
right
it's the Tinder.
there, folks, is very similar to San Pellegrino or Corona.
Yeah, it tastes like a Corona. It's very
It
light.
does, yeah.
Very light. You could drink like 100 of
Yeah,
them.
I could drink a lot of these. That is fantastic. So
Look, we just matched beers on the first try. That
yeah,
hasn't happened yet.
I
Dave.
think that is a first this season.
they've knocked
Yeah.
it out of the park.
Yeah, Dave.
Drayton Good Hope. Welcome to the channel. Round of clicks. There we go. We got a new guy, Drayton Good Hope. We love you and we're glad you're here and we hope you stay. We drink beer, we tie some flies, so don't get thrown off by the first 25 minutes of the show.
Touche
Where we
to
just
that.
kind of hang out and we get you guys into the subtle vibe.
Into the zone.
Get the tribe and the vibe.
Oh, man. It's going to be a long night to listen to your rhyme.
Well, folks, that's beer number half.
Half a beer.
For the guy out there who says, get the drunk guy off the show. Well, that guy's no longer around. And I don't mean the drunk guy. I mean the guy
The
who made
guy.
the comments.
No.
All right, so folks, welcome back.
Yeah.
I would say one thing to
Our-
Trevor, it is a good beer, not pawning it to the couch folk.
Is actually, no, it's a really good beer. Yeah, 100%. Do you guys know the name of it again in the brewery? It's on Vacay Brew Co.
Yeah.
In Calgary. So,
Neither of us were glasses.
but you can get it if you stop in at Red Deer, and I believe Trevor and myself chatted, and I don't know how much I'm supposed to say about it. But on your way to the Bow next year, you might as well stop by and look who's here, Mr. Jacques Hero.
Oh,
That
what's
is
up,
a
Jacques?
fly tying legend.
It's a master.
Literally, and a phenomenal human who I had the pleasure of meeting about 2017, 2018. We were out on the East Coast filming the film called Ties Flies. And we got to stay up at Larry's Gulch, which some of our East Coast friends on here know what that is. And fiddleheads and salmon.
Fiddleheads. Yeah.
Gosh darn. taking me back. I don't think this beer would go with either of those. Your beer probably would,
Yeah,
but
mine would.
this beer goes with a nice warm fire and my stocking feet up on a
Go
ledge
on.
somewhere.
Yeah, Jacques, we do need to do a
the
Miramichi River
Miramichi,
trip.
Yeah,
I
legit.
agree.
Because honestly, the people that I met out there, and I equate that to the small sample size. And some people say, like, if you meet a dick, you know, it's a small sample size, and they're not all like that. But I'm going to tell you, I didn't meet any Richards. I met the good people, and I know that it's full of great people out there. See, Trevor misses Fiddleheads too. Yeah.
What's the timing for a trip like that? Is that like in our off season, or is that right in the heart of it? guys
Spring. It's
Spring,
actually,
nice.
we went in June.
Oh, nice.
Not sure if it was the time we caught a fish,
But it was.
but hey, sometimes you come on the boat during the time and you catch a fish. Oh,
there's a sticker up there that's good for that.
this is a
Can't
good,
wait to show.
must be, it's a good beat.
Is it? You're on the K-pop again, aren't you?
Well, we're drinking Asian drinks,
It's
so
true.
I figured we might as well go with the flow, Tim. My one job is to entertain
You're mucked
Tass and flies. So we got the Kung Fu crab and then the other fly, which I'll explain to you the clerical error when we get there.
Yes. A couple of good ones.
But we've got some really epic sponsors this year, some people who help make the show happen. And they're known as Season 6 kit buyers.
Yeah.
And they're also known as our beautiful sponsors, who we would like to say a little bit of a thank you to. And yeah, some super fun commercials that maybe Tim's a part of, maybe I'm a part of. We don't know, but we'd love for you guys to just hang out for about a minute and a half, and we'll be right back. So because you've already finished one drink, you might as well go get yourself a second drink, and we'll be right back. At the pinnacle of every climb, when victory meets hunger, there's one companion climbers trust. Morning View Mercantile, crafting meals for the summit. Experience culinary excellence where the air is thin. Witness the power of gourmet at altitude. Within minutes, taste meets triumph. Indulge in the flavors of success. Morning View Mercantile, your partner in conquering summits, your reward at the top. Morning View Mercantile, where elevation meets flavor.
Fishing was great. I caught a rainbow, which was incredibly fun. Watching that thing jump out of the water, super exciting.
There you go, you're on. Good job. It's okay. If he's gonna buck, let him buck. he's gonna go
I
for.
dropped my fly line for a minute, scared myself.
That's awesome. Yeah, some rainbow trout.
Wow.
So, yeah, crazy to see them up this high.
What's up?
What's
You
up?
can only ask so many questions, and then I have to give answers. The difference between clerical and clerical is we don't really know, because clerical means that it
churchy.
is pertaining to the clergy, and we are the clergy. So the clergy made an error, and clerical means learned something. Anyways, Paul D is on it, but we got another new guy here, Thomas.
What's up,
It's in the
Thomas?
house, and
Tom, my buddy Tom.
Ken
Smith.
is pumped to welcome him to the show. Could you
What's up,
imagine
Tom?
if each and every one of you guys brought a friend to the show? Yeah, we'd have a lot of friends on the
break the
show.
server.
We'd have a lot of
We
friends
break
on the
the
show.
server. Blow it
All
right up.
right, yeah, Drayton, go and download a FLYINGO card ASAP. Oh, Dusty Barnes, what's up? Was catching whites on the river today with? Oh, there he goes.
Oh,
See, the
nice.
cheater flies.
Oh,
Cheater
just tell
flies,
us
cheater
which
flies.
one it was.
He probably put them both up there.
I think we can all guess.
Yeah, the couch folk.
Uh,
Yeah, here's something really cool because Morning View Mercantile popped in today, and well, they always bring stuff like this.
just like this.
I love
Still waiting.
driving through Red Deer. Have to stop there.
Look at that. I got some couch goodies.
They brought treats for the couch folk.
Nice. Pays to be on the couch.
That's for you guys to mow down on during the show. But before you get all hot and horny over there with your freeze-dried goodies from Morning View Mercantile, I think that it's important that you guys show us what is on the Freezing Brothers baking cam.
Who better than
Well,
Cam?
yeah, hey. Well, Captain Cam, Baking Cam, my multifaceted gentleman here. We have sourdough cinnamon mini buns.
Oh, right there.
Ooh,
That's
baby.
it. You're on it.
They look
Move to the middle.
Awesome.
Move to the middle.
To your left.
your other metal.
Oh, yeah.
they-
So,
look at that.
They look
hold
money.
that pose, okay? Somebody screenshot this to me, and I want you to post it on your story and say, this is a photo of me staring at beautiful buns and Cam staring at beautiful buns.
He's reaching for him.
Oh, those are good. Those are good.
Oh,
So those
man.
are from our friends at Freezing Brothers
Yeah, they
Wait
look
for
awesome.
these.
over in Sundre, Alberta. But Freezing Brothers isn't just in Sundre, Alberta. They're all over Alberta. And
I like Pauly D's idea here. We need some Captain Clutch Sun shirts.
Ooh.
well, we could do that too if you guys pre-order
Looking
them.
just like that. That'd be so
Absolutely.
epic.
Oh,
I'm
those.
in,
like a
I'm in,
river-
I am in.
Yeah, the river tuxedo.
So, anyways, next week on Captain Clutch does yoga / sit-ups.
The good news is the buttons are printed, so we're good. Next week, so you can stretch them.
Just about blinded me when it popped off.
Oh,
there.
that's the best
Oh,
part.
yeah. So
It
good.
is straight up the fact here.
I feel like I'm Captain Clutch from the Love Boat right now.
All right, folks. Somehow the music got away on me, but that's okay because we're gonna head into the.
Love Boat music, though.
I gotta figure out.
Definitely not English.
It's nay English.
Hey
Not
guys,
English.
beat it! I got some beats here.
Let's hear it. Come on.
A little better.
Yeah,
A little better. This one's gonna pop us into a little magical thing.
Called the news scene.
The news scene. What's happening on the news scene?
Captain Clutch.
Entertainment news.
Yeah.
There it is.
What's good on the news scene, folks? We don't have a lot here for you, but we have enough. Enough to let you guys know a little trick of the trade for tonight's flies.
Yes.
And you're going to notice something's a little different on the clerical error.
One of those errors. So the first fly you see there, Koga's bonefish shrimp. It is not Koga's Hula Charlie. That was a clerical error.
That, yeah.
So
So
just recognize that.
So, because they're very similar, and we just decided that we would play with the folks. I was waiting to see if somebody would notice, and then nobody noticed. But anyways, very similar fly. But what you got in your kits is the Koga's Bonefish Shrimp.
Yes.
So what you'll see scripted forward is the Koga's Bonefish Shrimp. Don't panic and say,
Oh no, what
don't
is
have
it? That's what it is.
I don't have
So
it.
you can see there, guys.
Here's this. I got
What?
this is actually news.
Actually new.
This guy right here, I don't know if you saw it pop up in the calendar.
No, I didn't. What?
David
Yeah, David.
is coming on he booked a fishing trip.
What?
End of August.
Oh, we've been waiting for this for so long.
I know.
David.
I'm so
Oh, man,
excited.
can't wait to meet you, buddy.
I know.
That is awesome.
And don't let Sean Ellison talk you out of it.
or come with you.
Definitely. Or make sure he's not on the river that day. Well, actually, you might want to make sure he's on the river that day.
You're most definitely going to have success if he's out there,
Yeah.
not in your boat.
So if that doesn't make news, I don't know what does, because
Yes.
that's pretty epic.
That is awesome.
So we'll make sure you're out that day too.
Yes,
and
let's
then
make sure.
you get to meet Mr. Blackman.
Blackman.
That's
Hey,
full circle right there.
That is full circle.
Yeah.
Waiting for. Good
So,
circle.
flies. Tim, you got something to tell everybody about the Kung Fu crab, because it's
Yeah.
the second fly, but you might as well get people petting their material.
That's right. Okay, guys. So a couple flies you see up there tonight. You can see the threads that we've chosen for you. If tonight's kind of one of those nights when it would be really good to stick to the color of thread. And the second fly, the Kung Fu crab, that orange could also be blue or gray or red, but I would stick to those colors. We're trying to create a fairly real looking crab. Next part about the Kung Fu crab. So there's a lot of material preparation for the body of the fly. So in your kits, you're going to see you've got a whole bunch of this material like this, okay? So what I want you to do, kind of while the show is going on and prep over the next little bit, is go ahead and cut yourself a bunch of probably 3.5, 4-inch chunks, okay? So I'll show you what I'll do here. So I'm going to cut a couple, same length, roughly. Every time we do a tie-in on this fly, we're going to use 2 pieces together. And what I do with them is I'm going to kind of match them up. And I'm going to go grab a little comb. And the important part here is that we're going to comb out this material so that it bushes up a lot. Okay, so I'm going to comb out one side. I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to comb out the other side. But it's important that we kind of have this done ahead of time. Otherwise, you're going to kind of feel like you're getting left behind. Okay, so we comb it out. It really gets it to be a lot fuller. So you're going to need to pair up those 2 chunks together, comb them out, and you're going to need between 4 and 6 of those pairs together. So just go ahead, prep that material as we're going on with the show. Whenever you got a break, do a couple more. I'll kind of do the same, and then we'll be ready for that Kung Fu crab.
Yeah, get it combed out. So, another big news on the big news scene is Jacques just let us know that the Atlantic Salmon Fly International Show is in next September in Calgary.
No way.
And yeah, so Britt and Brian Davenport are coming up for it, and
that's
they're
right,
booking a trip. So that's super fantastic. And the colors for the flies, for the thread, are right there on the screen. UTC 140 and white, and then UTC 140 and orange. And if you don't have both those colors, it's okay. I would probably tell you to do kind of white versus
versus
another color
something
if you
else,
don't have the white and the orange, just because you can always take a marker later. Color up.
Yeah. Good
I
options.
just love this song I picked, or it picked me. So Tim's over there combing that out. So you guys got your material dishes in your kits. Dump them out, get them ready. It's also a good habit to do before the show. Sean wants to cut the green feathers. Can't see it on the little screen. Well, Sean, it's time to get a big screen. Let's just reiterate it for him. I don't know if he's being a goofy goof.
Okay, so what are we
But,
cutting? We're cutting this material right here. Okay, this is that synthetic material. Sorry, I keep showing it this camera, but it's not there. This stuff here, not going to focus for me. There we go. That stuff there, we're going to cut that in about 3.5 to 4 inch sections. And once you cut 2 of them, pair them together, comb them together. And then out of those 2 pieces together, you're going to need a set of between 4 and 6 of them. So do 6 to be safe. That's going to be enough to get you through your fly.
Gary asks the alternative colors, red, blue, and...
Red, blue, or gray would be great. Yeah, that should cover you.
All right. So, factual actual is that's the flies, and that's that. And then you guys got to make sure, because I saw it in the comments earlier, but we do play FLYINGO. We give away a lot of prizes, and tonight we amped up the Doors of Doom to make it a little more friendly.
User friendly.
For you guys. You know what I mean?
Don't want to miss out on that.
Because there is only one door that isn't a winner. So I say that because if you don't win something tonight, 100% a loser. Like
You got 7/8 of a chance.
Yeah.
To not be a loser.
Yeah. So that's how it goes. All right. Sean didn't get it, and now he's got it. And so, folks, that's where you go. And you can just always check out the bottom there. I just always leave it on the news scene where to go to get that. And remember, these Morning View Mercantile candies that the boys on the couch are about to crush are always available at RockyMountainFlyShop.net. The other things that are available at RockyMountainFlyShop.net are everything on the show. So, Fish Pond, Rocky Mountain Fly Shop, Morning View Mercantile, all the good stuff that you guys can go get, and make sure that you support our people. Rocky Mountain Fly Shop, Morning View Mercantile, Fish Pond, Fly Fusion, Craft Beer Nation, Shore Fishing. We love shore fishing and the products. And we're getting a bunch of stuff from them to give to you guys. You know what I'm saying? These are the greatest.
This is definitely my favorite.
Yeah, these are the strawberry milkshake gummies, which are in the giveaways. And these are deadly. And I'm looking at the calories here, and it says per 11 pieces, 1 calorie.
That's pretty darn good. It's got to be even less once you dry them out.
Yeah, you get rid of all the sugar.
Well, and your body's working to chew them, so it's got to be worth something more. Oh, so good.
The best part about freeze-dried goods
is the crunch.
I know, but then when you soften it up, all of a sudden it's like, whoop, like the flavor profile just takes off.
I find that most drastic with the apples. That's where I find it. It's like, so good.
All right. And folks, you got to know that if you're going to come to IF4 March 23rd in Olds, Alberta, it's the only place you're going to be able to see it. The last best place. A film we shot with Rocky Mountain Fly Shop, the Guardians of the Red Deer River watershed. Kind of a bit of a conservation piece. And I think you should. There's some really cool fish in there.
Yeah, there are. Definitely worth coming to see. Just
that's only going to be shown here in Olds, Alberta at the I4 that we're hosting. So I highly recommend you do that. And then you can also make sure that when you come, you can check out this.
Oh, yes. Just like that. Gonna be a good show this
A
year.
bit of a teaser for everybody who's coming out. If you're not in our area, make sure you check out I4. It's in your area, and if it's not in your area, you can host it, or you can talk to your local fly shop because they're either hosting IF4 or Fly Film Fest. But you should make sure they host IF4.
So, Burke, you had a good question there. Where do we get the Captain Clutch stickers? So those are going to be found on our website. And the advantage of having them, well, if
What I meant to do
you order one of
this.
those, it's going to get you through the doors of doom. If you win bingo, you just win the prizes. You don't have to go through doors of doom at all if you're carrying that lucky sticker, which is worth the money because there's a lot of prizes.
I'm going to show you that, but I want to show you because it's not set up for this. But the quizzes, folks, I have not got the episode 5 quiz up because a lot of people are trying to do it real early, and then they're trying to learn the answers, and then they're cheating.
That's a good point.
So tomorrow I'm going to throw it up there. So if you go to our website, TNL S6, you'll see right there it says take the quiz. And then it's going to take you over to quiz. And each and every single week, you're going to want to take the quiz because it's going to give you a little snapshot of a photo that you're going to be able to put together if you do all of the quizzes. A little bit informative, a little bit goofy, but you're going to have to watch the show because there's questions about the show that are in there.
Yes, there is.
Yeah, didn't do that one. That one's Colorado. Why would you fish anything else? CDC end. Yeah, so that's all we got for the news scene. We're going to get into Time to Fly right away. But to answer a question about the Captain Clutch stickers is you're just going to head over to flyfishingbover.com/store. Store.
That's
When you're at the store, you could buy a lot of things here. Sun shirts. We got lots of sun shirts. We got what? A lot of stickers.
Stickers.
The new stickers
Ooh, the
are
new
somewhere
stickers are up
in
there
here.
too.
Okay, that's the new sticker.
You should probably show Sean that new sticker.
Sean.
Up close.
Right. And if you like the description, Sean, you know you do it all the time. So this is basically the pitchfork resembles the hook. And if you ever see your hook not in the fish's mouth, good chance you're not going to get a picture with a fish.
Yeah,
And so we call those farmers of trout. And so, yeah, you can go over there, load up on stickers. Captain Clutch is here, and that is the new one. So what the Captain Clutch sticker does is it gets you immunity. So if you win FLYINGO, you don't go to the doors of doom. You just win it all. It's easy. Cost you $50, but I'd say it's worth it. And yeah, go buy yours there. You don't have to have it in hand because they actually just arrived today. So we're going to be shipping them out. A bunch of people have already ordered them, but highly recommend. That looks so much like Captain Clutch in the studio.
Really
today. Yeah, the Bropper. The Bropper's there. The Bropper die cut sticker. So you can go. Might as well just make a big order.
One of
I
each.
also thought I said something about free shipping.
Ooh.
Let me just check here. I don't know how to work this, but I'll try. Store coupons. So if you do enter ship free TNL, the stickers are supposed to ship for free? Question mark?
I guess you'll find out at checkout.
Question mark. Let's go like this. Ship.
No, Paul, sorry. Those old Captain Clutch stickers are no longer in effect.
Well, yeah, I think Paul got one at the start of the year.
Oh, okay.
If
If you got
you
one this
ordered
year.
one this year and I sent you out the old ones, I'm resending you the new ones. But yes, I believe Paul did order one this year. So anything ordered for this year do work, and you will get a new one in the mail because we thought we might as well go with the theme. All things theme orientated. All right, that's enough of me.
Enough of you and on to me. I'm going to switch over mics here. Okay, guys. Ooh, that sounds
Dirty.
good. Okay, let's get to work on this bonefish fly. Okay, I got to grab
You got to remember what
another
you're doing.
packet. So this one's a lot less prep. Okay, so you can see the fly there. How this fly is actually going to fish is in this position. So kind of keep that in mind as we go through when we tie this fly, because that's kind of how it's going to be set up. So we always put the weight that on the hook shank is going to be where the weight is where, you know, the bottom of the fly is going to be. So in case this one, we've got that bead chain on the bottom, it should be enough weight to offset that hook, the hook point and gap, and that's going to allow that fly to sit in the position you see it there. So this one's a fairly easy pattern. It kind of works off, they called it the Charlie series of bonefish flies, which are all quite similar. And yeah, this is just basically the one of the bonefish shrimp. And this one is one of my favorites. I also have been able to fish this fly and found lots of success with it. So when you're unpackaging everything, just make sure you kind of keep everything in one place because there's a lot of materials in here. You got a lot of crystal flash, you got some orange yarn, you've got some of this fur, you've also got some silly legs, but most importantly, kind of hidden in there is you have these mono eyes, and you don't want to lose track of those guys because those are going to come into play here right away. So let's go ahead, let's get this hook out of the vise, and we will get started on this fly. So to start off, we're gonna, like I said before, I'm gonna be tying this with a UTC 140 in white. So I'll grab that thread right here. We're gonna start that thread just behind the eye, and we're gonna work it back down the hook shank a ways. We're gonna get to about the halfway point on the hook shank, roughly. And from that position, we're gonna trim out that tag end, and we're going to, DJ Dana is gonna provide us with some more music. And yeah, just over here. We're gonna start by tying in these bead chain eyes. So treat them just as if they were dumbbell eyes, very similar, a little less weight. Okay, so come in with a cross wrap to kind of get it started. Do a couple wraps just to get it to sit in place. Then you're gonna wanna kind of pull back on it, put some thread wraps across it in the other direction. So when it's sitting, it's gonna be perfectly perpendicular to that hook shank. And now from this point, you've heard me say it lots, and we're actually gonna use this technique a ton today, especially in the crab. We just need to tie those in and secure them down. So whether that's figure eights, whether that's just the X wraps, the cross wraps, some just around the eyes themselves, some just around the hook shank itself. We just want to make sure that those guys are not going to go anywhere.
But what we do want to do is welcome Mr. Dale Britton.
What's up, Dale?
Friend of Terry Souther.
Oh, awesome.
Welcome, round of clicks.
Yeah, happy to have you here. That's great. Okay, so from here, we are going to start by working our thread back to the back end of the hook bend. We're going to leave it just up on top so it doesn't go quite over at this point. And the first material that we're going to be tying in is that orange yarn. So go ahead and grab yourself that yarn. It's going to look something like this. So what I want you to do is right off the hop is just square it up. So trim off a piece. You really don't use much of this in this fly, but it helps if when you're tying it in, it's nice and cut and straight. So I'm gonna, even though my tying point's right there at the bend, I'm gonna lean a little bit more of the material out in front of it, and I'm gonna do a gathering wrap to kind of pinch it down, and then I can pull on it a bit, pull it back out a little bit more, and then I'm just gonna secure that right there. And you can tell I'm kind of pulling up on the material, just making sure that that stays up on top at this point. And then I'm gonna secure that down. Then I'm gonna bring my thread right back up behind them. Now I'm gonna trim this off right to start here. So you can tell if you pull tension on it and then let go, it kind of springs back into position. So we want this to sit just behind the hook bend itself, just gonna basically be an orange dot that the eyes are gonna be around. So I don't wanna pull it super tight and trim it there because then it's gonna spring back. So I'm kind of letting some of the spring out of it, and then I'm gonna trim it just behind the bend of the hook. And then just kind of make sure if you got any little fibers sticking off of it, you just trim them up just so it doesn't pull on it. And we're left with that. Okay, so this is, like I said, right away, we're gonna kind of get into those eyes. So those mono eyes, go ahead and grab yourself 2 of them. They look just like this, and it's actually really cool, guys, that this is prepped for you because it is a little bit of work, but not a ton. Basically, all we've done is taken a piece of mono and we've taken a lighter to it. And you just light that up and it actually turns black, put a little, stop it from burning, and that's what you're left with. So it gives you kind of a realistic little eyeball. Now, what we're gonna do is, my suggestion on how to tie these in is I'm gonna come grab it with my non-bobbin hand. I'm not gonna worry about how far it's sticking out in, because technically the head of the fly is where my fingers are right now. I'm gonna tuck the tag end up under those bead chain, and when I tie this in, I want it to be tied in right on the side of the fly. Okay, so like you can see there, right on the side, I don't want it to be on top or below, and then I can kind of maneuver that piece, and I've done kind of light wraps at this point. I'm gonna back it out just a smidge. I'm gonna get a hold of that tag end and let go of it on this side so I can decide the length that I want it to be, okay? So I want that to extend just beyond that orange fluff. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it right about there, and then I'm gonna put a finger on it, just to hold it in place. And I'm gonna run some wraps down over top of that remaining tag end. And I'm gonna run that basically right up to those eyes. Making sure those are straight. And then what I like to do is I like to come in here and grab the eye and just kind of pull it out away from the fly. And that's gonna bend it out at an angle so you can see, kind of makes it look a little bit more realistic, like the eyes are sticking out of the shrimp there. Then I'm gonna bring my thread back up to the tie-in point again. And I'm gonna put in the next eye, so on the near side of the fly to myself. Same idea, come up underneath, switch hands, make sure I get it secured to the side of the hook shank, and then work a few thread wraps back before I grab that tag end and pull it into position. And if I'm there already, I might as well put a little bend in it. So then you can see just like that, how they splay out around that orange nubbin. And then I'm just gonna take some thread wraps back over the tag end, down to just before those dumbbell eyes. And then all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come in here and trim out those little guys so they're out of the way. I don't want them going beyond those bead chain eyes. And then I'm just gonna make sure I got some thread wraps kind of right over the butt ends of those. And then I'm gonna bring my thread back up, leave it right about at the barb. And this is gonna be the first time we go in and grab a piece of crystal flash. So you got a whole bunch of it in here. Just grab yourself one long length, kind of pull it out of the mess. And you're just gonna cut off about a 4-inch piece. And then you're gonna grab another 4-inch piece and cut it again.
What happens if we're going too fast?
If we're going too fast and you need me to slow down, or if you have any questions, all you gotta do in the comments is just drop SOS. That's it, and that'll stop us. You'll see those lights flashing, and then we can answer any questions that you have, or if you need me just to slow down, okay? We'll try not to go too fast. We're not in a rush. We're just trying to keep the pace of the fly moving a little bit. From here, I'm gonna take that 4-inch piece of crystal flash and I'm gonna fold it around my thread. I'm gonna roughly match up the tips. And then I can decide, because I can slide it up and down my thread, I'm gonna decide with my thread where to put it, which is gonna be on the same place I tied in those eyes. So I want it to be right on the edge, on the lateral side where I tied in those eyes. I'm gonna work my thread wraps back to that tie-in point, and I can let that go for a half a sec. And I'm gonna go grab that other piece of crystal flash that I tied off, or that I cut off. Okay, just another one. We're gonna do the exact same thing, except on the near side of the fly, or the close side of the fly to yourself. And again, this wants to be on the edge of that hook shank. And I'm gonna take that right back against those eyes. And then I'm quickly gonna work my thread all the way back up to the bead chain eyes. Okay. Now hopefully you guys have a chance to catch up here. What next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go grab my silly legs. Okay, so out of these silly legs, I just want you to grab 2 full pieces, break them off from the group. And we're gonna basically do the exact same thing we just did with the crystal flash, but we're gonna do it with the silly legs. So we're gonna tie it in the exact same fashion, in the exact same place. We're gonna fold it around the thread. The only difference is we're gonna tie it in starting back at the bead chain eyes, because we're hoping that we're gonna create a little bit smoother underbody by tying it in right up here. So I kind of pull some tension on it, do my best to keep it on the edge of the hook shank. And once I get it there, I'm gonna return my thread back up to the bead chain eyes. So now I got one side done. Now all I'm gonna do is repeat the process. I'm gonna go over to the near side of the fly, double it over once again, tie it in right by the bead chain, and then work it down this side of the fly this time. Gonna take it right back up against the eyeballs once again. And then I'm gonna bring my thread back to the bead chain eyes again. Now from this point, I'm gonna trim up everything we've tied in so far. So,
Just a question about the hook.
yeah.
Is it coated or anything for the salt? Stainless steel.
Yeah, this one specifically is not, I believe. But yes, if you could go either way. Sometimes we use them on the next fly. We will use a little bit stouter hook for the crab. But yeah, it's never a bad idea. It just means that if it isn't, you gotta wash, make sure you're taking care of your fly. So if you fish it, likely if you catch any fish on it, this will eventually fall apart within a couple fish and you're gonna be onto a new fly anyways. But you're gonna need to wash those flies off if they're not coated yet. So I'm gonna take and pull all this material back. Now, kind of the key here when we're cutting our length is that we don't want to pull a whole bunch of tension on the rubber legs, because if I pull on them, it stretches them out. So I just want to kind of get them taut like that. I'm going to come in with my scissors, and I'm going to roughly gauge the distance from the hook point to the tie-in point. So it's 1 full hook shank in length is where I'm going to trim this out the back of the fly. You're just kind of doing a rough gauge, and it might not be perfect, but that's okay. We're going to cut it off right there. You can discard those pieces. And now we're going to go in, and we're going to grab this braid. Okay, this is this crystal braid. It's like a crystal flash, but it's in a braid kind of material, so it's a little bit thicker. Gotta wet the old whistle. And now, if yours is anything like mine, you can see it's kind of frayed a little bit and it's coming apart. So just do a quick trim, straighten it up the best you can. And now this guy, we're gonna tie in right behind the bead chain. So get a wrap, kind of pull it back a little bit. But don't worry about like cleaning this up, because we're gonna be bringing this forward when we palmer it, and it's gonna go right up over those eyes. It's gonna clean everything up really nice. So I'm just gonna leave this right on top of the hook shank as I tie this in. I'm gonna bring this all the way back to that tie-in point, and then I'm just gonna lay some thread wraps back forward. I'm gonna pass in front of the bead chain eyes with my thread. I'm gonna bring it all the way up, leaving myself 1 hook eye length behind the hook eye, and I'm gonna do a quick little half hitch there. Little save button, and I can just set my thread up aside. Now all I gotta do is palmer this up. So there's a little bit of uniqueness in this when we get to the dumbbell eyes, but until then, all we're doing is nice touching wraps, making sure we're basically coating everything we already put down. Let's move nice and methodical forward. And when we get to the bead chain eyes, now we're gonna do that cross wrap. So just the same way we tied them in, we're just gonna do it once with this material. So I wanna cross over in one direction, go underneath.
Oh, no, wait.
What are you doing? And then when I come back over from the other side, I'm gonna cross over one more time to the back. That's what makes you beautiful. One direction, baby, every time. So you went forward in one direction and backwards in one direction. That's what makes you beautiful. Yes, it somehow never gets old for you. Then I'm gonna pass in front of the dumbbell eyes, and I'm gonna continue wrapping. So you're gonna see that in the back it looks a lot thicker than the front. That is intentional, don't worry about that. We're gonna work this forward. I'm gonna leave myself that little bit of space because we have a couple more materials to tie in. I'm gonna back off one more wrap. Then I'm gonna bring my thread back, and I'm gonna tie it off right there. Get all that out of the way. And then the rest of the front of the, kind of the face of this fly, I guess, which is actually the back of the shrimp, is just gonna be created by thread. So I can trim that out, set it aside for your next fly. I'm just gonna work some thread wraps down, kind of enclosing that.
Question here is, do you rotate directions of palmering, or how do you do that?
Where's the question?
Yeah, it says which direction do you want to palmer the?
I wouldn't worry. I don't overthink it, because we're not bringing wire back over it. It's not a hackle, so like.
No, I know, but the question is like which way.
Well, for me, I always go away. I go
one direction.
That's what makes you beautiful. Played like a fiddle. Well done, well done. Okay, so let's get that out of the system. Now that we're at the front of the fly, technically the back of the fly, I'm gonna flip this upside down, because the rest of the material is gonna go in the technical top of the fly, because as we said before, it's gonna be in this orientation in the water. So what we did with the crystal flash in the back end, we're just gonna repeat now. So we're gonna do the same thing again. So go ahead, grab yourself another piece of crystal flash, cut yourself a couple of 4-inch sections, and we're gonna just do that same thing over again. So this time, however, although we do want it to be kind of off the side of the fly like we did before, we also want it to be up on top slightly. So it's not right on the edge of the hook shank. We're actually kind of pushing it just a little bit to the top side so that it'll actually ride, hopefully, kind of back on this edge of the hook.
Once you get that tied in, I think it's time for a break.
Okay, we'll do one more piece of flash. We're so close.
I know.
Okay, gonna go with this one. Come across, fold them up again. This time it'll be on your side and slightly on top. just like so. And the whole time we're kind of just working at smoothing out that ramp. But we got one more material to go in here. So before we take a quick break, I want to pull this back, and I'm going to trim this crystal flash so that if it extends beyond the legs at the back, we need to trim it. So we want it to be a little bit shorter than that. So I trim those ones that just match these up, and they look pretty darn close. Yeah, happy with that. So we just want that to be a little bit shorter than the legs in the back. Quick break.
All right.
Do a beer review.
Because I'm thirsty and I wanted to pour a beer, but I need to let you guys know what I'm about to drink. And I know some of you guys are thirsty and your beer glass is empty. So you're going to need to refill that. But we're almost done. We just got one more material, and then we just got to make a bit of a thread ramp, a little dabble do you with color, and that's going to be the end of that fly. But what I'm going to try here is a peanut butter flavored milk stout. And now it's a little bit different. Well, I've never tried it, so I don't know if it's different. But I just wanted to jump in here and let you guys know. Oh, that is like straight out of an engine oil, dark. Maybe I'm not going to pour the whole thing in there just in case.
Such a pussy.
And what Tim said there was, it is. I'm trying to push the envelope here and see how many times I can play that. But let's give this a try so Tim can get back to finishing that fly. I just took a sniff and it was chocolate peanut butter, but like strong on the stronger side. I haven't tried a drink. I'm about to give it a go here. Who would have thought to put peanut butter in a beer? And I want to give them a hug. Because if I had some jam, I would have myself one heck of a moment. Peanut butter stout. Peanut butter milk stout. From Belching Beaver Brewery. You can buy this at our friends at Craft Beer Nation. All right, Tim, back to you and your fly and all those things.
Thanks. All right. One more material, guys. So we've got this fur material here. Okay, this could be, a lot of them are tied with like coyote. Some of them are tied with other like, not dog furs, but that's what we're going to call them. It's got a lot of under fluff in it, right? And that's actually, normally we pick all that stuff out, but we actually want to use that this time. So I'm going to go grab a little clump off here. And I do mean little. This is meant to be sparse. So I'm not going to tie a ton in, just enough. So I've taken off a clump that's about that big. I'm probably going to pull a little bit of that out even still once I cut it off. But that is what we're going to go with. So once you get that cut off of that, what you're left with, something like this. I'm going to pull just a little bit of that fluff out, but only at the very base. Okay, so you see I didn't take all that fluff out because that stuff extends, because we want that to be like a little bit of a filler in there. Okay, so what are you guys laughing about over there? Seriously. Oh my gosh. It's never gonna end. Okay, so let's tie this sucker in. So when I come down, I'm kind of trying to gauge a length here. What I don't want is it to extend beyond the legs, just like the flash. So if I were to lay that down, even the longest tips do not extend that far. That is perfect. That's exactly what I want right there. So I'm gonna switch hands over so I can take a look here. Now I know exactly where I need to trim that out. So I'm gonna come in here, take a little trim, get all that fluff out of there, reposition my fingers for tie-in, and I'm gonna come in and tie this in just behind the head. But I want this to be right up on top, so perfectly on top of that hook shank, which is technically the bottom right now, but this is gonna be the top riding of the fly. Okay, so I wanna tie that in like so. Start that little ramp process. And what I want it to do is to sit on either side of that hook shank, so if I'm showing it to you like that, you can see it kind of envelops it there, but when it's slick in the water, it's gonna pull back. And you can go ahead and get rid of any of that little fluff that's sticking around. It'll probably get covered up when we start doing thread wraps, but if not, I wanna just clean up the best you can. So now let's make a nice little ramp. We're gonna come back up to where we tied in, make that a little bit bigger, Make sure we're just covering up all the color because we're gonna add some more color to this in just a moment. I'm gonna bring that down to here. I still got a little bit of fluff that's driving me a little bonkers there, so I'm gonna come in here with my cheat tool and I'm gonna burn that sucker out. If you don't have one of these tools, this is a cautery tool. I think Hairline is the one who actually distributes it, but it is super cool. Very good for working with little materials and cleaning stuff up. Okay, so I'm right here. Let's come in and whip finish this fly. Gonna add just a smidge of color, and then we're gonna call it a wrap. So if you've got a red marker or an orange marker, or you have even a pink one, that'll work just fine. We're just adding a bit of a hot spot on the back end of this shrimp. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna color it first, and then I'm gonna add a little bit of resin after, just on the bottom in case it bleeds the color. So I'm gonna come in here with my orange Sharpie, and I'm just gonna color up the thread right from where I last tied in that hair. And I'm just gonna color it all up the best I can. This stuff actually like bleeds into the thread really well on the white. Would on the if you had gray as well. Just covering that all up, so that's what we're finished with. Okay, now I'm gonna flip it back to this position, which would be the bottom end of the fly. And I'm just gonna use a little bit of fly tire cement. You could also use some UV resin here, would be totally appropriate, but I'm just gonna put just a little dab of this on there. And we're gonna call it good. That, my friends, is your bonefish, your bonefish shrimp. That's a gooder. So a few little techniques that we use in this fly, a lot of that cross wrap stuff, which we're gonna use a ton in it's pretty much how we tie in every material in the next fly. So get comfortable with it, and when we come back to the next fly, we'll get to use a little bit more of those skills. And back to you.
All right.
Can I ask a question on that? What if you used dubbing instead of the felt?
Which felt are you talking about?
Where you used your Sharpie at the very head.
Oh yeah, that's fine too. Yeah,
Oh,
but
okay.
what we're trying to keep that taper look. So in the back it's the thinnest, and the front it's the thickest. So maybe dubbing, unless you put it on really thin, would probably build up. Whereas we can also create a very durable finish for our thread with the glue and everything, just because it is only thread.
Oh,
but it's not a bad
felt
option.
marker.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good old Sharpies.
Sharpies and white thread
Yeah, you can't go wrong, really.
make you happy.
Hopefully,
Kind of like
guys
a lot of
enjoyed it.
conversation about this peanut butter milk stout.
You haven't given me a taste of that yet.
I know. Here, finish.
You
off
almost
the
emptied
can.
it out.
Well, I left a shot of oil for you.
Oh my gosh, that does smell like peanut butter, like straight up.
Yep. The boys on the couch, they weren't fans. They said it tasted like a relit cigarette.
That is so good. What are they talking about?
I don't know.
It's creamy.
Bohemian.
It's so much peanut butter
It's
in there.
peony butter.
It's almost like the
What
best.
did you call me earlier? I don't think I heard it. Peanut butter?
It's almost like the best. You're not helping either on this finishing my sentences nonsense.
Oh, talk to me about that, Tim. It's like the best day of
Ooh,
your
that's good.
life and you stick it in your mouth.
Huh.
So we're going to give folks a chance
Cool.
to finish off this party with FLYINGO.
Oh, let's get
And then
some
we're gonna
flying.
come. Should we tie the next fly or should we take a FLYINGO?
Let's
I
do
think-
it. That's up to you. I'm
I
good either way.
think the fact of the matter is quite simply this.
Tell me. We're doing this. I guess that's my answer.
It's a bingo.
Let's go bingo.
First 4 calls right there on the screen. But what's
that.
even better, folks, nobody knows this, but the wizard has shown up.
Oh, he showed up today.
The wizard has arrived.
The wizard is in the house. All right, guys. So if you don't know how to play FLYINGO, it's your first time here. It's not too complicated. If you've gone to the website, which you see up there to download your FLYINGO card, all you got to do is one line anywhere. We're gonna give you all these calls.
Because the wizard's
Oh,
here.
there he is. Look at him. He's creepy. He's creepier today. When it comes up and you get a bingo, you got to give us the call number so you can see the calls there.
He's just waiting.
You got to give me the almost there.
trounce.
The call number. You got to give me the number on your card. And there's one more. Nothing? Because you can't remember either.
Your ID number?
ID number. the call.
the
it's
call
on,
number,
and bingo.
and bingo.
Yeah, that's 3.
Just so you got it.
But it would be great if it was all in the same sentence.
Yeah,
too.
like we did. Jeff can.
He crushed it.
He can, but he couldn't. And this week, it's the same as last week. Any line, anywhere. You just need one line. And when you give us that number, we're going to throw it into the system here, and it's going to tell us what you got. You also got to remember that there could be ties. And if there is ties, we have a tiebreaker. We just stick all of your card numbers in, and we hit go, and it spits out a winner.
Yeah. Pretty
We
simple.
don't have anything to do with that. But I want you guys to know that this, like, you go to our website and you order a Captain Clutch sticker, and the captain will show up and he will help you guys out. But if you don't order a Captain Clutch sticker, the wizard will take you to the depths,
Take you
the
down.
doors of the doom. But until then, we're just gonna keep playing.
I like Sean's comment there.
Ryan doesn't see any calls. I do.
I see him. I see him.
That's Wizard, Captain, and Farmer approved. Hot Sauce John says it's okay and maybe a little fat. All of that.
Hot Sauce John will live in
You
history
see,
forever.
Sean, like, you might not have a lot of pictures to show your friends, but you've got some stories. You've got some creations. And every time Sean shows up on the river,
So do
a
I.
story is born.
You always get to watch fish get caught in another boat.
Oh, what he called you ended in sigh.
Uh-huh.
I think I started when a puss.
Sigh.
Okay. So over here, next call. Obviously, nobody's won. Circus Peanut.
Circus
Peanut Hopper.
Peanut.
Peanut Butter Dropper. Peanut Butter. We do have a Circus Peanut Hopper.
Yes, we do. Circus Peanut Hopper. Peanut Hopper.
Oh, wow. That's on Tim's.
Don't say that. Man, I'm just not good with my words tonight. Bad.
Hopefully, your mom took a night off
She
watching.
didn't. I know she's here right now.
Do last year's stickers work? No, they don't.
Unless you're Pauly D.
No. Well, he bought a this year sticker.
That's true.
Which is this one. But if you bought it this year, all right, next call. Krelix Minnow, number 6. Let us know if you won. Let us know which call, your bingo card ID, and say bingo. That was it, eh? Just 2 things they had to let us know. Why is it so
I
complicated?
don't know. I thought it was 3.
there
It's
was
really
3.
throwing me off. It's bingo, call ID,
And call
and
number.
call number. Yeah, it's not that complicated.
4 in a row, 1 line anywhere. It says so right at the top. The wizard and the captain are both jonesing to get in on this party. Look at them sitting there all in unison, loving each other, loving their lives. Oh, we don't know who will reign victorious tonight, the wizard or the captain. This reminds me of when I lived in Vegas. There was this car dealership, and he had the Blue Genie, and he had these commercials on like the cable channel.
Yeah.
I gotta send you to that, Ken, to this dealership. And it was so terrible like this and catchy. And it was good. All right. Same cards.
Burdick Minnow. Let's go. Yes, Eric. 4 in a row. Anywhere. Is it 4 or 5?
It's 4, right? Whatever. A line. 1 line. Whatever that works out. Cam's also playing.
Cam, you got any?
Is there 4 in a line, Cam?
I don't have 4 in line, but there is 4 in a line.
Yeah. Cam's close. If the captain wins, then the wizard wins.
Be close.
Sorry, I turned your mic
As
off.
per usual.
He's got 7 phones. He's playing the wizard's hand.
Gotta be close.
It's open to anybody. It's free. It's totally free. You just got to go download your bingo card at flyfishingbover.com/TNLS6. Oh, McKenna.
Come on.
All right, we're going to do another call, and that's going to be the Slum Hopper.
Slow.
Somehow the wizard got a new face.
One more for the wizard.
All right.
Slum Hopper.
Maybe I'm on the wrong card here.
Starting to wonder.
A lot of people playing right now. 6 of 7. Oh, there we go. KR Rumlin. Did you see posted in TNL? Like he bought season 5 kit last year and he just crushed the whole thing.
The whole thing. I was like,
I know.
Dang, that's a lot of flies.
That is incredible work.
That was so good.
A testament to the system and a testament to himself as a dedicated, addicted fly type. Oh, there we go. Kate Bessler.
Hey, Kate.
Oh, and there's no Captain Clutch.
Look at her
There's
following
no
instructions.
Captain Clutch there. I'm just going to double check here and see if Kate bought a Captain Clutch sticker tonight. And the answer is no.
Hard no?
Nope.
Well, that means I might have to pass the mic over.
All right.
to-
You got to give it to the wizard. But first, we got to say thanks to our sponsors. And when we come back, the doors of doom. We'll be waiting for a long time. Friend
job,
of the
Kate.
show.
Love you long time.
Actually, wait. Why are we so trusting? We got to enter
yeah, I
her
guess-
number.
I guess probably
Yeah.
check that.
should probably
Yeah,
check.
we should check that.
Check
we
it
can't
before we wreck
trust.
it
I'm
here.
so trustworthy.
Too trustworthy.
Although, at 8 calls.
All right, there it
almost
is
in
at the top
blackout
on the
territory.
Slum Hopper. Call number 8.
Nicely done, Kate. There it is.
Anybody else competing this? Anybody else competing this? Well done, well done. Looks like we got a winner. That's all we need to know. Let's say thanks to our sponsors. Doors of Doom await us. At the pinnacle of every climb, when victory meets hunger, there's one companion climbers trust. Morning View Mercantile, crafting meals for the summit. Experience culinary excellence where the air is thin. Witness the power of gourmet at altitude. Within minutes, taste meets triumph. Indulge in the flavors of success. Morning View Mercantile, your partner in conquering summits, your reward at the top. Morning View Mercantile, where elevation meets flavor.
Fishing was great. I caught a rainbow, which was incredibly fun. Watching that thing jump out of the water, super exciting.
There you go, you're on. Good job. It's okay. If he's gonna buck, let him buck. he's gonna go
I
for.
dropped my fly line for a minute, scared myself.
That's awesome. Yeah. So rainbow trout.
Wow.
So, yeah. Crazy to see them up this high.
Oh, the wizard. The wizard is so miserable. And he's here. I don't even know what everybody's commenting. But what I do know is that once we get into the doors of doom, neither Tim nor I are responsible for your demise. But we will make sure that one of us we'll get this wizard in here. Oh my goodness. We're gonna put the wizard right here. Because when he's here live, he needs to be... Not sure what the wizard wants to say.
Kate, I need you to pick a door. Where are you feeling lucky tonight?
Isn't he so evil?
Aren't you feeling lucky tonight?
Just trying to figure out where all of his feedback's
Kate,
coming
you know
from.
what's up. Oh, she gave it to you.
Did Kate pick it? She picked door number 4. What do you think of that, wizard?
I don't know. I don't even, I have no idea where they are. And Kate, I feel bad, I'm sorry. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm happy. Let's do this.
Let's do this.
Is that all you got, wizard? You're like, usually you're kind of an a-hole in the past.
I can't be an a-hole to my first client.
Where have you been on vacation?
I've been everywhere. Spent most of my time in hell.
Most of my time.
The weird part is, hang on. That is your microphone. The wizard brought feedback to the system. Okay. Kate has chosen number 4, wizard. Are you okay if we reveal door number 4?
No,
Yeah. Let's do it.
Tell us, wizard, what should we do?
I can't see the doors. My eyes are fogged up.
Well, we can see
Let's go
him.
with door 3.
No, she chose door 4.
I know, but we're gonna open 3 first.
No, you can't do that.
I'm the wizard.
Are you giving her a redo?
No,
No.
You
I'm gonna hang her in suspense.
She chose door number 4. We have to go with it.
We'll open door 4 then.
I can't handle it. The wizard. I just want to stay here forever because he's just sweating under there.
The wizard was forced to do shots of tequila.
That's true. You were.
Can we open door 4, please?
That's even better now.
Oh
So
my
much
God.
better.
Okay. Are we ready for door 4?
The wizard got a very normal sounding voice. Yeah. The wizard's back. Hey, how much does it cost to get a FLYINGO card? It's just a... The sad part is... Stack of dimes. To beat the wizard, you must be the wizard. Well, do you think Captain Clutch will come in and save the day?
Obviously
Nope.
not. She didn't buy one.
Kate, you're so cheap, you didn't buy one. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being hell, how hot is it under there?
We're getting pretty close to 11.
How long can we drag this out for?
It's your couch that has all this blood marks on it, so we're good.
I bet you can't wait to crush the cinnamon bun.
Did you just open door 4? Let's go to commercial.
We're delaying. The only thing that's free is that bead of sweat coming down your roll of dimes.
Tend to show me roll dimes.
If we leave that roll of dimes in the sweat, it's gonna rust. It's not coated for saltwater. All I have to do is press this button and it all goes away. But I can't do it. Alright. Okay, let's do it. Everybody's been waiting. I can't see the screen. I got tears in my eyes.
I've got fog in my eyes. It's like I just Walked out of the steam room here. We're good, let's go.
Let's go. Oh, 40% off a guided trip. No She can take her boyfriend out for half price. That ain't bad. Too bad your boyfriend's a guide, but half price. It's perfect. Oh, that could be good. That could be good. I wouldn't bring him though. Well, I would hire him for half price. No tips. No, just the tips. Just the tips.
That's only 2 dimes, right?
Oh. Here we go again. Just breathe. Oh gosh, that's good stuff.
Kate, have fun on the river.
Oh, my face hurts. Yeah. Guys, I got a 6-pack now. I see that. Yeah, Cam. Where's the captain? He's got a 4-button pack. Oh, it's cramping. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, time to do Kegels. Kegels? Is that clerical or clerical? That's what makes you beautiful! Alright. That is. Okay.
I can't take it anymore. Are we good? Oh, man. Okay, well, now I'm sweating.
Oh.
It's got some hotness going on, but not half as hot as that guy is. Holy man, need some sunscreen? Jeez, your face is
He
like...
looks like a monk.
It's all shiny. You're glistening.
Okay, guys. Well, that was fun. And Kate, you got half off a trip. That's pretty great. Maybe give it to a friend. Okay, so we got another fly to do. This one's going to take a little bit of time. A little bit more than the other one. Not too bad. But let's get to it. So I'm going to switch over mics and we'll get rolling. Okay. Hey, guys, let's get going on this fly. So you can see it here. This is what it should end up looking like, or something similar to this. This is the Kung Fu crab. Kind of a cool looking pattern. It's got a weed guard on it. Show you what the fish is gonna see when this sucker's running away from him. It's a pretty realistic looking.
Travis.
What is it? Oh my gosh, good job, Travis. Okay, that's our fly, guys. So let's work on creating this together. So hopefully you've prepped some of your materials that we kind of talked about earlier. Let's go ahead and get our hook and our vise. Like so. Like I said, I'm gonna be using a UTC 140 in orange. I really like the orange contrast. A blue would be really nice, the blue crab as well, or gray. Try to do something that's a little bit contrasting. So let's come in, let's start our thread just behind the eye. We'll work it back a little ways, and then we can come in and trim out our tag end. Then we're gonna go over to our dumbbell eyes. This is gonna be the first time we do the crossover pattern on this fly, but we're gonna do it a lot with all of our materials. So I'm gonna bring my thread back so that it's about an eye length behind the eye, roughly, maybe edging on 2. Because we do need to tie a weed guard in up at the front, so we gotta leave a little bit of space for that. So I'm gonna come in, start off by getting a couple of cross wraps in here, like so. Let's just get this guy fixed down however you need to. Remember, this is kind of the motion we're gonna go with. Figure 8s, cross wraps around just the dumbbell eyes themselves. And once you feel like it's good and secure, it's not moving too much, like it will still spin. But that's why on especially these little bit bigger flies, what I like to do is I'm gonna flip it right over right away to where all those thread wraps are kind of on the bottom, holding it together. And I'm just gonna take a touch of that super glue. I'm just gonna touch it right there. And that should really help lock that down. It's kind of out of the way. That'll sink in as we're tying the rest of this fly. So then we need to go all the way down to the back. Just kind of cover up the hook shank the best you can. You don't have to worry. There's going to be lots of extra materials going on here. And I'm going to get basically to where the barb is. So we're just edging over the back end of the hook bend. And that's where we're going to tie in our next thing. So what we got here is these kind of cool, funky little eyes. They're like this. It's like 2 beads on a piece of mono, basically. And we're gonna tie these in exactly how we just tied the other dumbbell eyes in, is we're gonna do our cross wraps, try to find like the midway point in that mono. And these ones are gonna wanna move a little bit more because they are just mono, they're not stiff metal or anything. So just get a couple cross wraps in. You're gonna have to play with it a little bit at first. Just be a little bit more gentle with it. Try to get some figure eights and that'll really help lock it in. And once I've got a decent amount of wraps in there, what I'm gonna do right away is I'm gonna go in with some of my super glue again. And I'm just gonna do just a tiny touch right on top. That is gonna sink in there and that's gonna keep that from moving. Okay? Now, don't forget, if you have any questions, you need me to slow down anything, just drop the SOS in the comments and that will let me know that you need a break or you have a question to ask. Don't hesitate to ask questions because those are important. The next material that we're gonna go to is this guy here. So we got some pink cactus chenille. So this is gonna act as basically the head or the mouth of the fly. Peel off a little bit of those fibers and it's gonna expose that little bit of rope that's holding everything together. And what we wanna do is we wanna tie this in just in front of those mono eyes. So if you see what happened right there, you see how my thread jumped away from my material? A really cool trick you can do is if I spin my bobbin clockwise, because I'm a left-handed tire, it's gonna cause that to jump forward onto my thread. If you're right-handed, just go counterclockwise. It's gonna do the same thing. So now when I pull this up, that thread should wanna jump over the material, just like that. It's kind of a little trick to help you when it feels like your thread's constantly trying to get away from you and not stay where you want it. So I'm just gonna take a couple thread wraps back up just to get my thread out of the way. And now what we wanna do with this is we're actually gonna do that same exact cross wrap technique, but just with this material. So I'm gonna make sure that I get kind of a full coating around one side, go around below, come back over. So when I look at this, I've basically covered up those eyes with just some cross wraps. Basically enough to do just one in each direction is enough. And then I'm gonna bring my thread back to where it was, right by the tie-in point. And I'm just gonna go over top of this and lock it down. A couple wraps on top, a couple wraps underneath. I should be good to trim out that material. Just like so. So that's what we're left with. It's really, it's just to manage the head of the fly a little bit, give it a little bit of a different look. And that's about all we gotta do at the back end with the eyes and that initial head. Now this is where the fun begins because we've got a little bit of work even before this other material that we prepped for the body, okay? I'm gonna teach you how to make those crab claws, okay? So we're gonna go and grab, there's gonna be white zonker strip in your kit, okay? So this is the rabbit fur zonker. What we're gonna do is we're gonna cut off about a 1/2 inch worth of this. So I'm gonna come in here, try to sneak your scissors in underneath the fur portion and just snip out a chunk like that. Okay, we're gonna do that twice. So let's go in there, snip out another one. We can set the rest of it aside. And now there might be, where you cut it, there might be some extra fluff in there, so just pull that out. Let's get rid of that right away. Kind of pull that out of the way. And then what I want you to do is I want you to kind of isolate just the very front fur. And I'm gonna pull this stuff back so it's kind of out of the way. Just isolating that front fur. You can see I've got this fur back here behind my fingers. If you add a little bit of moisture to it, it'll pull it back out of the way. I'm gonna trim that stuff out right away. Just get that out of the way because it's just gonna get kind of be a mess when trying to work with here. So what I'm left with is just that fur up at the top. So if I show you the other side of it, you can see I trimmed that out. If you're anything like me, you're gonna get a bunch of this fur in your mouth. Now, I wanna separate the very tips. Ugh, I got so much of that fur in my mouth. No comments from the peanut gallery.
Sorry, what did you call me earlier?
Something like that. A sigh. I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna split the fur in half. So one's gonna go to one side. Try to get them fairly equal, kind of like that. Just parted them a little bit. Now wet your fingers, get some saliva on there, and then grab a section and spin it together. Same thing on the other side. Come in and spin it. Spin it together. So much of this stuff. So we want to kind of get that spun all the way almost to the fur. And there is a crab claw looking shape, right? Well, that's not quite done. What I need you to do is grab that UV resin that you've been waiting to use all season. Grab your UV light, because this is going to be the essential material to make this happen. This resin and the light. So I'm going to use my Bone Dry by Solarez, because it's got a brush applicator and I like that a little bit more. I'm going to come in and I'm just going to lightly coat each side of the claw, just to start, on both of them. This is just a first coat. We're going to do a couple, but just enough to put some material on there, and I'm going to hit it right with the light right away and let that start to cure. Now I know you see there's a little bit of fur in the middle there. Don't worry, I'm going to trim that out. But as we do this, it cures. Let's go back to it one more time. And this time, let's go a little further down into the claw, into this material here, because we don't want those claws to flop around. So you want to add a little bit more down deeper into the claw. And then we'll cure that again. And on this guy here, I would just come in and trim out that. And then we're going to repeat. So there's claw number 1. Okay, set that aside. Let's go grab claw number 2. Let's do the exact same thing. So we're going to come in, isolate the front, strip all that foam back, get a little moisture on it so it's out of the way. We'll cut it out so it's out of the way. Then we're going to come back in here. We're going to isolate again, split this into 2. Try to find the halfway mark. Add some more moisture. Get that side together. Other side, just that twisting motion with your fingers, as well as you got to make sure that there's moisture on the fingers, otherwise it won't go. And I'm basically just doing it enough that I can try to form a shape. So there we go. I'm happy with that one. Now I'm gonna go do the exact same thing. Get some of that extra fluff out. Gonna go in here with my resin. Gonna coat both sides. Then I'm gonna cure it up again. Try to get it right out to the tips if you can. Then come in there with your light, cure it. And then again, like I did last time, I'm just gonna go a little further down into the Y of the claw. Add a little bit more. Anywhere you think you might need it a little bit more. And then we'll cure that one as well. And then we should be pretty much ready at this point to tie these guys in. Let's make sure it's good and cured. That is gonna be our claws. So if you had the claws closer together or wider apart, it's totally up to you. And quite honestly, the first time you do this, you're just gonna be happy with however it turns out. So just get it the best you can. And then we're gonna focus our attention. So there we go, you can see that's kind of how it turned out. That's our claw number 1. Now we're gonna tie these claws in. So how we wanna tie them in is we want them to be right on the side of the hook shank. So I kind of measure by having that, the bottom fur part or the leather part come right out to the edge of the eye. Because then when I take a wrap, it actually is gonna kind of force it in an outward position and kind of give a little bit more of a realistic look. So I'm gonna hold the claw for a second. I'm just gonna get a loose wrap to kind of hold this in place. Then I can grab the back end of it and kind of form it to where I want it to be. So then I got an idea, gonna flip it up. Yeah, okay, I like where that's sitting. Then I'm gonna take a few more wraps, again, adjust that back end of it, and then I can pull tight. If it moves on you at all, just rotate it back up. I'm gonna take a few thread wraps forward a little further.
Question about using this as a crawfish on freshwater. I don't know if there's enough movement.
Yeah, normally the crayfish that we tie definitely have a lot more movement than this. This isn't gonna have a ton. So yeah, I mean, try it. Try it in a color that's more natural to crayfish.
Chaz knows what it works best on.
Just
gold eye.
So then I'm gonna come in here, guys, and I'm gonna trim out what I can, as tight, as close as I can, and then really wrap the butts down. This is eventually gonna create a nice ramp for kind of everything else we do. Now I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna tie in the other side, the other claw. So grab my other claw, try to match it up so it's basically the same as the other side, the best that you can. Get that kind of initial couple of wraps that are just loose, I haven't pulled tight yet. Adjust it so it's right on the edge of the hook shank. So when you see it like this, you can see they're spread out nicely. Happy with that. A couple thread wraps forward to push it right up to that tie-in point. And I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna trim that out. As close as I possibly can. And then just a few more thread wraps to bind down the butt ends. Kind of smooth that out a little bit. You're gonna find that there's feels like there's a lot of fur everywhere at the start here, but it'll all get covered up. So to make these claws look even more real, I'm gonna go in there with my orange Sharpie again, and I'm gonna color just the very front of the claw. Kind of works best if you almost like place your finger against it and then run the Sharpie down it. That's gonna give some color contrast to it. Gonna make it look a little more real, like that. Okay, I'm gonna do the other side. And then we can move on to the repetitive fun part of this. Just like that. So we got our 2 claws on either side, all tied in, colored up and ready to go. Okay, so I'm gonna work to smooth out this transition between these kind of where I tied in all that material and the bottom end. So I'm just gonna work my way back up and down a few times on here, just trying to kind of smooth that out a little bit. There's always gonna be a bit of a bump up here, but that's okay. I'm just trying to do the best that I can. I want that thread to be right up in at that tie-in point, and then I'm gonna go to my first time tying in this synthetic material. So this could be EP fiber. It could be any other real synthetic fiber that sheds water well, okay? So how I'm gonna tie this in is gonna be just like I did the dumbbell eyes. I want it to be a, a cross wrap kind of technique. I'm also gonna suggest if you've got a hair clip, even this one's all broken up, but this will help you keep stuff out of the way as we tie in pieces. It'll make it a little easier for you as well. So I'm gonna find the midway point on that material. I'm gonna make sure my thread's right up against here. I'm gonna do a cross wrap. Okay, so I've got it crossed in one direction. Lined them up for it and everything. Then I'm gonna pull back on the other side and finish my cross wrap in the other direction. So you kind of gotta, this first one especially, because it's really tight up to everything, you kind of gotta just go back and forth, holding and moving the materials, but we're getting that cross wrap technique. And once I get it tied in, here's a good key, is I want to grab both sides of the material and I want to snug it back. And once I snug it back, I'm gonna put a couple of thread wraps there. So we're just gonna repeat this process multiple times. So this might only take, I mean, it's really depends on how much room you've left yourself. It could take 3 or 4 times of tying this in. This one will probably take me, I would say, at least 4. So I'm gonna grab my clip here. I'm gonna hold that out of the way and I'm gonna go grab my next piece. Now guys, we're just gonna repeat this process until we get up pretty close to those dumbbell eyes at the front here. So same thing, I'm gonna come in, do my first cross wrap over, come to the other side of the other one, cross wrap again. And once I got it in, what you'll notice is, I'll show you here. Oh, shoot, that came off that side. Is if I get basically just one cross wrap in each direction, it's not slip, I can still move this, right? I can move it up and down and I can pull it back. And that's the key that we wanna do, because we wanna stack these right up on top of each other, and that's gonna give you the most full kind of shaped version of this fly. So once I get it pulled back, I'm gonna do one more X. I'm gonna add it into my hair clip out of the way. And a little technique that could help you too, if you don't have a hair clip and you got, anytime I have a spare chunk of that lead wire material, all you gotta do is keep it on your vise somewhere, and then this stuff is moldable. So you can just like wrap it around and it'll hold stuff out of the way as well. So I never throw out a short chunk of that stuff because it always kind of comes in handy as a kind of a quick clip if you don't have one. So here we go guys, we're gonna continue on. We got another one, next section. So just kind of stick with the pace. As many of these as you need to do. I'm probably, as I've tied this a few more times, I have probably a little bit more space just because I understand the proportions a little better. So I might get more in here than you will, but that's okay. Just one at a time. So get that one down. Pull it out of the way. I'm probably gonna get, I would say, 2 more in here. So I'm gonna land right around that 5 to 6 mark. Go with the next one again. Cross wrap over. Do it a couple times, then pull it back snug, couple wraps in front, and one more X pattern. Make sure it's snugged up. I'm gonna go to another one. And I wanna leave myself just a little bit of room behind those dumbbell eyes because I still gotta tie in some legs here. I forgot to get those guys out of the way. So you do need to leave yourself a little bit of room behind those dumbbell eyes at the front. Can kind of be a bit of a finagle sometimes, and you get a little tighter up here. Pull them back. Gonna go here. Another cross wrap. Snugged up. So this is what I'm left looking with right now. You can see all my tie-in points. I am gonna do, it's always a catch-22. I'm gonna leave it there. Leave yourself some space. Always leave yourself some space, because we're gonna tie in some legs. Now, their theory on the tying in the legs, they can go, really, they could go anywhere on this fly. I prefer to kind of tie them in on the side, but on the bottom is completely acceptable too, because they're actually just gonna, because this fly is gonna be fishing in this direction, if I tie them on the bottom, they're gonna be just a little bit longer than the crab itself, so they're gonna hang out the bottom. So why don't we tie them in that position right now, just because we're here. So go ahead and grab 2 pieces of your silly legs off here, so when doubled over, it's gonna give us 4. And let's just tie them in on the bottom for kind of ease instead of having to separate them. And what I want you to do is, for both long pieces, line up the tips. So tips are matched, so you got 2 long pieces together. We're gonna wrap those evenly. So we should have 4 tips kind of coming together there. And I'm gonna tie these in what looks like the top of the fly, which is actually the bottom of the fly when it's fishing. I'm gonna tie them all in right there. Put a couple of thread wraps down to secure it. And we're gonna let those hang right out the bottom. They're basically gonna be the right length, but we're not gonna know until we trim up the rest of the fly. But before we get there, we have one last thing we're gonna do before trimming starts. Let's cross back in front. So we're right by the point here. I'm gonna add these legs into this big hairdo. So in your kit, you're gonna see you have some pieces of mono filament, heavy mono, a little bit thicker ones. This is gonna be our weed guard. So this is actually a very simple thing to add that can really help when fishing this pattern. If you have any weeds or anything, which normally when you're fishing for bonefish you do, it's gonna help you. So what I want you to do is I want you to fold over, match the tips up, and then when you find the loop at the bottom, like here, I just want you to come in and pinch it so it's flat like that, okay? Now, really simple technique for tying in weed guards, and this goes for really any fly that has a weed guard. I'm gonna kind of pinch the tops together. I'm gonna slide that loop over top of the eye. I'm gonna leave it so it just has a little bit of a belly hanging out the bottom. I'm gonna do a couple of thread wraps here. I'm gonna tip it up, do a couple of thread wraps below on the other side. And then I'm gonna pull tension like this. It's gonna snug up, like so, right up against those wraps I've placed in. Now I'm gonna put a few more in front, a couple more behind. Kind of got to work around the guard with your bobbin. Now the desired kind of thing is exactly how these ones landed. We want them to be angled back slightly. They're nice and stiff, so that's gonna keep the weed off that hook. And then for length, all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tip it back down, and as long as they extend just beyond that hook point, so that hook point is kind of tough to see for you right there, but it's right in there. If I can get those to be just a little bit longer than that, so these ones I can trim a little bit, they just need to make sure that they go beyond that hook point. Now all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna whip finish this fly right here. I'm gonna get some either UV resin or some super glue on these wraps right away so I can lock that weed guard right into place. I'm gonna use some of my super glue. I come right over here. Gonna touch some glue on there. Just making sure that that stuff's not gonna move at all. And now we get to do the fun part. We get to trim this to make it look more like a crab, because right now it's gonna look kind of like a mess. So first thing I wanna do is I wanna get those legs and I wanna just get them out of the way, because I don't wanna accidentally cut them, because once I cut them, it's all over. So right now you're kind of just left with a big mess of this, right? Now I'm gonna show you how we're gonna make this look like a crab. So pull all the material that you can away and up. So a neat little trick to get these legs to kind of stay out of your way is if you have a gator clamp, which I always kind of keep a couple of these extra on my desk. If you clip that gator clamp to them all together, just the weight of the gator clamp should hold them out of the way. Just kind of keeps them up and out of where you're going to be snipping. So then I'm going to pull all the material I can get, try to flatten it out. I'm going to pull it straight up. Now, the desired kind of angle that we need to snip on this is we're going to do an upward angle cut, because the crab is always a little bit fatter up here by the claws and thins out at the back. I'm going to leave myself some room up, probably half a hook shank up before I start cutting. And I'm just going to cut at that constant angle. Set that aside. Any of these ones that kind of slip through just while they're hanging out here, we'll do a little bit of extra trimming here in a second, but we're getting the general shape. Now I'll show you what this looks like once I get it spread back out. So we've got a pretty close shape to a crab shell here. So if you find any little bits that are uneven, like you can see here, that looks a little uneven at that point, I'm just gonna come in, trim it out, trim that shape. Any of these guys that are out on their own, let's try to go in there and trim those out the best that we can. Trim that shape up until we're happy with it. All I'm gonna say about the trimming, guys, is you can over trim because you can't add it back on. So once you trim, I just suggest getting it good. Maybe don't look for perfection. So you get that general shape you're looking for, which is gonna be something like this, okay? And then what I'm gonna do is on these thread wraps here where all my cross wraps are, I wanna go in there with my super glue or my UV resin, and I wanna add resin on top of all of them. That's gonna help all those tying points lock in, and I shouldn't have to worry about any of those wanting to slide out at any point. Couple of last little touch-ups if you see anything that's kind of out doing its own thing. I'm gonna flip it up, do the same thing. If there's anything on this side, this is gonna be the side that the fish actually sees. Be careful of those legs, of course. And then with those legs, all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull them back and down. So they're actually going right out of the screen here, but I'm gonna trim them just a tiny bit longer than the very longest claw. Just like that. So now when this when this fly is fishing, that's what the fish is gonna see. Got that nice crab shape pattern to it. Got our legs that are gonna dangle out the bottom, and our nice, nasty looking claws.
The thing to take note of when you're trimming the shape or the width away from the hook shank is like the more you get away from it, the bigger that is, the more time it takes to sink. So now if you're fishing like shallow water bonefish, or permit, and you see that fish tailing in there and they're in like a foot or 2 feet of water, you got to get there and get it down quick. So your case in point might be to trim that like smaller. Do you know what I mean? Like closer to the hook.
Yep.
Shank,
and that
because
shape
that
is
gets
all
them
just
down.
dependent on when you like. I showed you how I lift it up. If I'm here and I start my angle lower down, it's just going to make a smaller shape to it. I think this is fairly proportionate to this hook size, but especially as the hooks get smaller, just trim it to an appropriate kind of size. I would say most crabs are going to be somewhere in that general, like in comparison to the palm of my hand. Going to be pretty close to that, but there's definitely smaller ones too, especially for bonefish. So
Yeah. And then the thing to understand, like the sink rate, how fast that gets down
yeah.
to where you need it to be. But that's a beautiful fly. Well done, Tim.
Oh, thank you. Hope you guys enjoyed that. It's kind of a fun technique. On our trip we went to Oman a few years ago,
Yeah,
I fell in love with tying crabs.
Yeah.
I probably tied too many.
Switch your mic so I can fall in love with your voice all over again.
Oh, sultry. Sound of my voice.
A little deeper, a little sweeter. Yeah, those are really fun to tie. It looks confusing at first, and like we were talking with, I think Jeff a couple weeks ago or last week when he was up here, about the saltwater patterns. And even if you don't, or you feel like you're never gonna fish saltwater patterns, and why would I tie them? Well, it's the techniques and they're fun. You got typically a bigger hook to tie things on versus a cobber john. And so actually it's probably better to like start here and then work your way into like a smaller fly, like a copper john or a dry fly with a little small hackle, because you get thread control, you get portion control, which is a really fine skill that you take out of tying this fly. So don't shy away from tying saltwater flies because you might never fish them. It's all these techniques that are going to make you a better tyer. And so the repetition is also important. Your first one and your fifth one in your package might look nothing alike, because once you start to figure out the portions and your flies just look better. And then 100%. Like Tim was showing you, just like get different shapes in there. Some people put a little more resin on that so it holds it stiffer. You can experiment with stuff like that, because crabs aren't just crabs. There's like the grass, like the greener crabs that they fish in, like what's the grass called? Saltwater.
Like the flats, or are you talking about the mangroves? Or
no, it's just like the saltwater people talk to me. There's like salt, there's like sand bottoms, and then there's grass bottoms.
Oh, God. Yeah, okay, I know what you're saying.
Right, so
so they're different crabs for different places.
Yeah, different colors, right? And also the sink rate is very important. Where we were fishing these in Oman, we were fishing deep rocks. I really don't know if it was the crab that worked or it was just...
Both of my biggest fish came on crabs, but...
Yeah, but like, it was weird. I don't know if it was, It's weird. Turtle grass.
Turtle grass, there it is.
I knew
Thanks,
it.
Joe.
I knew it wasn't a saltwater rookie.
Saltwater,
although I
wow.
am.
I am too.
Turtle grass. Yeah, so they do like the green ones. Don't claim to be any kind of saltwater specialist at all.
No, I do not. I wish I had more opportunities.
Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to come back. We got the bacon cam. Let's check it out. The boys, see what they're doing over there on the bacon cam. Oh, look at them. Surprise, surprise.
They got caught slacking. Oh, it's because they were dishing them up. That's why.
Oh, yeah, they were getting them ready. So those right there are from our friends at Freezing Brothers, and they are the sourdough cinnamon buns from Mother Dough.
Very good.
See the frustration, Ken? It's real. There it goes. There it goes.
Just sit down and take a bite.
Although I did see Craig Jones posted a really fun photo of Ken showing off buns while Cam was looking at his buns. And while we're here, we might as well give them a try and let you guys know how they are.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Don't mind if I do.
Don't mind if I do. Yeah. Let's try this. Oh. It is not all over your lips. You guys want your microphone on?
That is good.
Oh,
I
wow.
love cinnamon buns. Oh.
Yeah, no need for forks. Go beards in.
You know what would be really good is this peanut butter stout with this.
Freezing Bros, both times I've come. Oh, they've not disappointed.
I know, right?
So good.
Try a little more here.
Just in case the last bite wasn't good. Is that
Yeah.
cream cheese? What's on top?
Yeah, it's cream cheese icing. Remember that fork got in the way of me eating this?
Yes. Yeah, that's not bad.
I got the whole thing in.
Yeah, that's impressive. You really did. Probably easier for you.
That beats chocolate croissant.
Not that I had any practice rooming with you all summer. All right, folks, we're going to finish up this. I'm already drooling all over the microphone. It's so good. We're going to come back. We're going to say thanks to our sponsors one more time tonight. And we're going to come back for the best part of the show where we're going to share our wins. What's important now? At the pinnacle of every climb, when victory meets hunger, there's one companion climbers trust. Morning View Mercantile, crafting meals for the summit. Experience culinary excellence where the air is thin. Witness the power of gourmet at altitude. Within minutes, taste meets triumph. Indulge in the flavors of success. Morning View Mercantile, your partner in conquering summits, your reward at the top. Morning View Mercantile, where elevation meets flavor.
Fishing was great. I caught a rainbow, which was incredibly fun. Watching that thing jump out of the water, super exciting.
There you go, you're on. Good job. It's okay. If he's gonna buck, let him buck. he's gonna go for.
I dropped my fly line for a minute. Scared myself.
That's awesome, yeah. So rainbow trout.
Wow.
So, yeah, crazy to see them up this high.
Guys are worried they're not going to be on the screen, but got them here somewhere.
Now we gotta get tight.
So cute.
Oh, that's weird.
It's the time of the night where we all get tight.
Get cozy.
Speaking of tight, one more cinnamon roll to the captain's outfit.
These buttons are getting further and further apart.
Down to 2 buttons.
Well, Cam, why don't you tell everybody what this segment's about?
Our wins, what's important now. So it doesn't have to be anything spectacular. It can be something that's important to you, something that is epic to you, something that was just meaningful to you over the last week. So yeah, that's a win. It's what's important now, and that's the best I can do off the cuff.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. You've seen the show before.
I've watched once or twice.
You've been listening,
Yeah. So, so we just share. We share. Tim will share. The Couch Boys will share. Then I'll share. And then you guys will share. Some of you already sharing. And then when you share, we're going to throw it up on the screen here and we're going to read them so that we can share your shares. And because sharing is caring, and we're going to stick around till everybody has finished sharing. And it's a really interesting thing that this does. And I do find myself, I kind of stray from it once TNL ends. And then as TNL picks up, I find myself in the first few weeks, we get to the show and I'm like, oh, what was my win? But then as the season goes, I start pushing forward during the week thinking, what am I going to do? I got to do something. I gotta, it's just a positivity, a light to the fact that like I'm looking for this win. And I think that directional change of our mindset is extremely powerful. So if you're new here, feel free to share or don't share. You'll see lots of people are already sharing. Tim will go first.
As always.
Why would we change a good thing?
Change up things, yeah. So my win this week, it might be a little bit on the smaller side, but something I'm super grateful for. It feels like it's been a very stressful month for me. A lot going on. Way too much to get into, but a lot of uncertainty in certain ways, and had a lot of school this month. Some big courses, some big tests. The last one I just finished today. But I think my win was a conversation I had with you this week, Dana, actually. Yeah, I think sometimes in your life, it's like you have that person who's like the center, who can just listen, give advice, impartial advice, and that was you for me this week. I just needed to hear what you had to say. Not knowing where to make some decisions and just getting some clarity from you was like, that was my win. I've got some incredible friends in my life. A few of them sitting here with us tonight. But I just encourage you, like, don't sit in a place where you don't know what to do. Your friends might not always know what you should do either, but sometimes just talking it out can make such a difference. And I think for me this week, it was exactly what I needed, and I feel a heck of a lot better today than I did at the start of the week. So thank you.
Well, you're more than welcome, and I'm not laughing at you. I'm just like, appreciate it. I appreciate you leaning on me for advice. And sometimes when you're talking to your friends, you're like, how much do I just kind of give them the straight facts? I think I was a little more. It was good. It was a great conversation. And I'm glad I could be here for it. I don't know how to respond.
No, it's okay. Take it in stride, because it's like, it's a humility thing to not say anything.
Yeah.
You know who you are.
Means a lot.
Me, so
yeah.
I love you.
Love you, brother.
Love you too.
Yeah. Well, Ken enough. I do have a shirt coming for you.
Can't wait. Can't wait. My win for the week is on Sunday, I'm taking off to Vegas with my oldest boy. Every year we go to different NHL ice rinks to see different teams play. This year it's Vegas. It's nice to be able to spend time, just the two of us away from everything else, and don't have to worry about the hustle and bustle. So that'll be fun to get away. It's been a rough week, but being here, seeing all my buddies, it's another win for me. These guys are great, and like they said, reach out anytime to any one of us. And just need to talk if you got to.
The couch is always here.
Couch is always here.
And you get food.
It's becoming,
you get fed and watered.
It's becoming a literal therapy couch.
It is.
It's a little comfier with only two people too.
Yeah, it's not quite as hot. It's just, the baking gets cooked quicker. And me, I guess.
Yeah, it's
all you.
We're going circle here.
We're rolling down the windows.
Oh, okay, good. Win this week. Nothing huge. Just this. I mean, this is what I've needed for a bit. Had a rough little while last couple months, so it's nice to get out of the house and hang out with friends and just relax and get away from the mind, which is the best part. So having great friends you can reach out to, send memes to, just
Yes.
whether it's 5 o'clock in the morning or 1:45 in the morning, or everything we're in between. It's the people around you that make your life easy. Like Tim said, if you reach out, whether it's a meme or someone just tells you the straight poop, I mean, that's your friends will never tell you straight, or never not tell you straight. So that's the best thing about having a good group of people around you. So
yeah, I think Cole sent me something the other day about that, and just like kind of know who your friends are, because they don't sugarcoat it. And I think if you don't have anyone in your life that's hitting you straight, I think got to find new people in your life.
Yeah, sometimes a pat in the back isn't quite enough. You need a kick in the ass.
Yeah, a kick in the cinnamon buns. Wins good week. Feeling the quad burn right now. So every once in a while, I think we need to recheck ourselves and put ourselves in a situation. I've talked about it before. Probably ad nauseum, might seem redundant. But there's a purpose for. Cam keeps breaking the show. Consistency versus intensity. And I see a lot of people. I was one of those who I was very intense about certain things. I was not consistent about things. I was intense. I was all in and briefly. So the reason I bring that up is because I've talked about it before, but this consistency of making yourself feel proud. And I think it's kind of a lost cause because it could be tied to maybe a little bit of cockiness, egotism, whatever. But I truly encourage you guys, and I think it's very important to do something to put yourself in an uncomfortable situation, and that when you complete the task, you feel proud of yourself. Oftentimes we look for other people to feel proud of us, our parents, our friends. But when's the last time you've really checked in with yourself and said, after you completed something, that I'm proud of myself? And, there was no moments of me not feeling proud of myself. But I do know that I've wanted to do a sunrise climb, right? And it's kind of like the mountains aren't far from us, but what are we? At least 2 hours, 2.5. Yeah. Like, so to get up at like 2 a.m. Is a lot, and that tends to be the death of my motivation. Oftentimes, is the super early mornings. So kind of fast forward, I've wanted to do this for a long time. Trying to work out schedule with people is very tough, and I also don't want to climb by myself. I don't think it's super smart. Maybe a little dangerous. But anyways, this Wednesday, I decided to go stay in Canmore, which is the mountains, which is a couple hours from here, on Tuesday night. And then so I could get up early, and I was a 15-minute drive to the trailhead of one of the mountains. So I'd climbed this one before. I knew it was, safe for what it is. There's people there. There's probably going to be people there. So if something happened, I would probably have help pretty quick. So anyways, I went out Tuesday. Matea came with me. We just had a really fun night in Canmore, hung out. Then I got up at 4 a.m. and I hit the trailhead right around 5 o'clock. A very interesting dynamic unfolded. And I really didn't know what I was getting into, but I do know that there's something spectacular about being on a mountain when no one else is out there, and it's absolutely pitch black. So I got to the trailhead, and I parked the truck. I got out, and I was starting to feel a bit overwhelmed because it was like, this is the wild. This is dark. And it's the wild. And although I feel competent and prepared, it still is what it is. So I was excited to explore this aloneness by myself, climbing up a mountain in the pitch black. And about 40 minutes into it, I had a moment where I realized I didn't bring any bear spray. And now bears probably aren't super active at this time of the year, but it's been really warm the last couple days. And then I thought of cougars, and I'm telling you, I actually don't know if I've ever been that totally petrified in my life. I was probably mad at myself that I didn't bring. Why wouldn't I bring bear spray? Just in case, right? You don't know. And so I almost turned around, and I was like, and so I have some knives in my pouch in my bag. So I took
12
out
of them, or
3 of them. Yeah, one which Chaz gave me for my birthday. So I took all the knives out and I put them on my side pockets, and I was practicing okay, so if it comes from this side, I got this one here, and I was trying to see how fast I could take them out of the sheath and open them up. I'm sure if somebody saw me, it would have been comical, but nobody was there. It was just me, my thoughts, and myself. And so it's a very spiritual place out there, and whatever your level of spirituality might be, just being in God's creation by yourself in the pitch black with a spotlight, and you can only see 10 feet in front of you at most. And I thought it was just a cool kind of thing where I could look around, but I literally couldn't see anything. And Fast forward, in a couple hours, I got up to the top. I sat at the top of this mountain for about an hour and 10 minutes. I sat there and I watched the sun come up, and it was like pretty epic. It was extremely emotional. I don't understand the emotions, why, and I just sat there and I just literally bawled my face off. Then I felt proud of myself. I FaceTimed a few friends to share the experience. We did get service up there, and me by myself. And yeah, it was just like, I encourage you, like, I don't know if you don't live around mountains or you don't climb mountains or whatever. It's not going to happen, but yeah, it's just something really freaking epic. And I took a selfie up there because we do that. And I was looking at the picture when I got home, and I just looked at myself and I was like, oh man, I saw like a 8-year-old, 9-year-old boy. And I was just like, man, I'm proud of you. I think that was a cool thing. So that's my win. My win is that I got to take myself up somewhere, challenge myself, and be really proud of myself. And it's not an arrogant thing. It's not an egotistical thing. I think it's just something that really helps with your mind, because like Cam was saying earlier, your mind sometimes takes over. And when you challenge yourself physically and mentally, it's a really cool thing. So as always, I brought the long talk.
That's good. That's awesome.
But yeah, so here's what it looked like at the top.
Not a bad view.
Yeah, that was
that's home.
Right? About it was like the moment that sun peeked over the mountain there, facing west.
That's so
it's just like it's very common. It's not super technical to get up there, but it's actually one of the, like, we'll say more moderate ones to go, but the view is pretty epic. And that's
worth the hike.
Yeah, so how do they encourage you if you get the chance? You go up there, do something like that.
Well, was that you'd sent me a picture? Was that the selfie you're talking about, the one that you sent me the other day?
Yeah.
That look in your eyes is gratitude. That's the look of a new day. I've mentioned that to you. Like, look, you get. I saw the sunrise at sea. There's nothing better than a sunrise. Like, everything's new from that point forward. So whatever happened yesterday, you get the crap kicked out of you.
Yeah.
That you wake up, you see that sun, and especially like picture like that, like everything below you is new.
Yeah, it was just like super cool to be like, literally, it's a common climb and run and whatever, and it can be very busy in the summer, but I was just like, I'm the first one up here.
Untouched
literally
today. Untouched
first
today.
one up here. Yeah, and Cam, that's true. I looked at that photo when I got home, and I was like, man, like there's something I just felt something looking back at that photo, which is weird. But yeah, it's gratitude. It's a lot of things, and I'm ready to go. I feel great. Super good. That shot of tequila might have did something too. You guys driving up here to hang out on the couch is super awesome. And anybody, if you're welcome to come hang out. This has been a really fun edition this year where we get to hang out with you guys a bit more. So
it's something I look forward to every Thursday. Who's the coach guy?
Yeah.
I felt like something was missing last week.
It was. All right, so we're going to go back. So this is how we're going to do it. We're going to go Tim will read, Cam will read, Ken will read, Dana will read, and we'll cycle back. Now we'll throw them back on this. All right, Tamara.
All right, my win, finally convincing my husband to join me and tie flies together.
Yeah.
Paul D. May not be a win, but joining and being part of a fantastic group on a Thursday evening, it's a highlight of my week. We really, really need a Captain Clutch shirt. Sun shirt, Captain Clutch, sun shirt. I agree.
Tell me if it looks like Cam's shirt or if it has the Captain Clutch on the back. I need to know more exactly how this works.
It's going to look like the suit, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. I seeing me going down the river all the time, I'd be happy with knowing that my face is just floating down there.
All right, Ken.
Dave, visit from Claude and Colleen at the store tonight. Colleen having my back on Kona Brewery.
Oh, no.
Redemption on the beers tonight after last week.
Yeah, it was buddy. 10 out of 10. Both beers were fantastic. Travis, my win is my wife. She has stuck with me for 29 years and 27 of those years in law enforcement. She was sent to me from God. I love her even through though she kicked me out of the bedroom for laughing at you guys. Thanks again for another great show.
Worth it.
Worth it. Yes.
Joel, my win was getting home from a work trip early so I could join TNL on time.
Oh, yeah. He's going to go fish for reds this weekend, I believe.
Adrian, glad I got here for the wins. I needed to change my mindset. Thankful for good Zoom webinar discussion panel through my board position. Had a great afternoon with little man skiing. Awesome. Otherwise, it's been a grind, but as always, thankful for my health and my family. Absolutely, bud.
Oh, yeah.
Jazz. My win, spent time with Carolyn and Nolan. Those who know the smallest smile, the sound of quiet breath, and deep sleep. I appreciate every moment earned with them. I love to serve my family, dads who matter.
Yeah. Ray, my win is going to indulge my other passion, motorcycles. Headed to the motorcycle show in Calgary Friday with 3 good friends.
Awesome. Trevor, my wife and I get to take our nieces fishing for the first time. Hopefully get to catch their first fish. Something special about that.
Thomas.
Tom.
Can you read that one?
His win tied his first fly this week because of some guy named Ken McCutcheon.
A.K.A. the Wizard.
Yes. Yeah. Tom, glad to have you part of the family, buddy.
Yeah, welcome to the TNL fam, Thomas. You're in for a wild ride. All right, Cam, you can read the Wizard Creator.
Where are we at, Sean? I've been working so hard on getting our new company going while working hard on the new career simultaneously. Months and months of work finally came together today, and our company officially launched. Check it out, rootsbnb.ca. Congratulations, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, looking forward to pushing in the future.
Oh.
Who's that, me?
That's you.
Cam, grateful for Cam fixing my oar in the middle of the bow.
Yeah, I remember that.
We would have been hit. Who's mining of the north?
Cheech of the North.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah.
Terry, win this week was the TNL. A picker-upper after a real tough event on Sunday.
Yeah. Hope everything's all right, Terry.
Cole, my win is we were down to 9 weeks left until itsy fitsy. Just feels like these past couple weeks have been so busy and just flying by.
You just wait till Itsy Fitsy comes out.
Yeah, that Itsy Bitsy changes.
Yeah.
Barry, my win this week, family. My younger brother finally getting back to normal, looking 100% better than a week ago. And the next best win, watching a whole episode of TNL on one big screen TV. So much better than a 7-inch iPad. Yeah. The bigger these boys are, the better.
Mr. Pape is grateful for the Baltimore Ravens and their great season. Super Bowl next year. Well, they were there.
They were close. They got robbed, Ish.
All right, Hillbilly's got a big one. It's going to blow the coverage.
The plague that has hit our house in January seems to be leaving finally. Everyone seems to be getting healthy. I got to head out for an overnighter ice fishing with Eli, and we had some success, and I caught a new anchor for the boat.
I saw that.
Also, my wife is starting a new chapter of her career, changing jobs, leaving her comfort zone for something new and better. She's nervous, but she will do great. She starts on Monday. Wish her all the luck. Change is scary, but scary is good. And as always, love spending time with you all on Thursdays. Thanks for all you guys.
Yes, Adrian, I did bring I brought 2. Because when it's me by myself, you got to make sure they're charged. Yeah.
Adventure time, fishing and hunting. I got 2 wins this week. Tomorrow we go to pick up a puppy from the shelter. After 4 years, it was time. Second is doing a 23-day, 2,000 push-up challenge for mental health, something I've never done. Is that 2,000 push-ups a day?
No, total.
Okay, I was going to say, like,
So the way I work, I would do 10 today and then 1990 on day 23.
We jacked in about a week. Josh, win. Buddy had major hospital scare, but is back home. Likely won't be on more adventures together, but for the time being, we can reminisce and enjoy the memories previously created. Well, that's a win, regardless if you go for another one at all. Memories are what it's all about.
Yeah,
100%.
That's why we do those.
That's why we do it.
Cole.
Yeah.
Dad Cole's giving me the advice that I forgot.
Ken's got a picture for bears.
Yeah. Steve Lyle, my win is Dana's story and sharing his story in God's creation. Awesome. God bless all. Mr. Riley.
Oh, Mr. Riley's in the house.
West Side.
What's up, buddy?
How do you do that?
I don't know.
That's Spock.
There you go.
Like this? Is this what they do on the West Side? I love that guy.
Watching from the west side. Hey, fellows, my win for this week was being able to purchase a car for my youngest son.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome.
Mr. Gooston, my win this week, having friends that call and check in on me, just see how I'm doing. I've been struggling with just keeping going this week. Love you, TNL family. Eric, we love you. Anytime, reach out, buddy.
Microscope. Mike, my win is that I'm driving back home from work for a long weekend. Yeah, no, nothing better than a long weekend.
Yeah, and if my legs are healed for Sunday, we do it again.
Craig.
Is it me?
Yeah.
Craig. Going to celebrate the amazing young lady who made me a dad first 16 years ago on Saturday. Incredible to watch who she is and becoming every day before our eyes. Just a beautiful young lady she is.
Morgan Cole. My win this week is that I have 7 more days until I get to go home. But even more so, I found out today that they need to continue on with them for at least another shift. So I get to finish out this job with my crew. Being away from home is hard, but thankful for the work and my crew. Love you all. See you soon.
Yeah.
Dave, my way, and I installed a diesel heater into my ice fishing sled after having to hit 4 stores to find the stainless I needed. Looking forward to the guys' trip on Cold Lake.
Yeah.
TC Motos, Dave.
Thanks for doing that, Dave. I'll appreciate the warmth tomorrow.
Yeah. So weird dudes in a tent.
It's hard to fly fish to a hole, though.
I know.
That's fine.
At least they're warm.
Just
True.
stop.
True.
They can stay home and play like PlayStation. It's the same thing.
No.
All right. Who's this?
That's me. Is that Ryan? Yep. Ryan, win this week is another day on the top side of the dirt, which is always a bonus. And having people that love me. Also, being part of the TNL fam is always great to be here with y'all. Love people catch fish. OQP. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. That's what it is, folks. Well, we've gone through the wins that you've shared, and we've shared them. We've shared our wins. And so if that's all that you guys have for us tonight, next week we are going to be doing a glow party. We told Ken it was this week, and so he wore the right apparel. And we just ran out of time. The quick ties will be up tomorrow. Make sure you check it out. Make sure you get your Captain Clutch stickers and all the new stickers that are in the store. And yeah, if you are wanting to get your trip booked that you typically do in the past few summers, I would highly encourage it to happen quickly, because trips awkwardly, weirdly, beautifully are been booking really early this year. So it feels like everybody's jonesing to get out on the river, and let's just make sure you get your spots before they're gone. So for all you who have already booked your trips, we're grateful. For all you who are about to book your trips, we're excited to hear from you. And
Can't wait for the river.
Keep your stick on the ice is what Tim said on a quick tie.
Yeah, twice.
I know. Steve caught it. He commented. Yeah.
Nice.
All right. Ben Struthers and his hip. That's his first comment.
Did we ever do the booby giveaway? Did we find out how many boobies were said?
Yeah, we did. Just haven't added up all the winners.
There's a lot of winners.
Yeah, the answer was 21.
Yeah,
a lot of boobies.
21 boobies, and I have 7 people that. Why'd you have to do that to me?
Just threw a wrench into it. Sorry.
Oh yeah.
We'll find it. We'll let you know.
One day we're gonna be
next
so
week.
organized that you don't even know. You don't even know. Anyways, Ken, thanks for being good sports. Thanks
Thanks for coming down.
wearing
boys.
hot, sweaty wizard face. Kate, congrats on the half price trip for Aaron. And yeah, make sure you tip your guides. Be kind. Tip your guides.
I like that.
A
Can
lot.
that be a sun shirt? I'll put it right on the back, one on the front.
That's all we wear.
Stickers would be good too. I'll put them everywhere.
I know. All right. Next week, Friday is too late. So Thursday is when we're going to do the show.
Yeah, a couple good
The
ones.
Chimera,
The
the Damselfly Nymph. And that'll be the end of Tim for about a month. You won't see him for about a month after that.
Sorry,
So
guys. 3 episodes.
we got some fill-ins, some people that are a little better than him. I'm super excited.
It's great.
I'll be so sad. Let's go. Chaz will be here, and Mr. Novlan will be here for a couple weeks, tying you guys up some streamer patterns. And that's how she goes. So until then, I'm Dana.
I'm Tim.
Ken?
We did it. It took the whole show, but we did it.
What you?
Sorry, I had
Just
to cut
say
in.
your name.
Cam.
Oh, there we go. We almost flowed, the four of us, but we did.
We did.
Together. The Ornocono flow
Oh, yeah.
came ripping out. All right, hit this button, Dana. Bye.
We love you guys.
I can feel my body cold against the concrete, but I can't seem to get enough. My mind is fixed on what it wants. I just let you beat me. Looks can be deceiving. Let you get the best of me in bed with my worst enemy. This is a no-go. I just can't take hold. This is a danger zone. Back up and get me home. This is a no-go. I just can't take hold. This is a danger zone. Back up and get me. So put your hand in mine. Follow me. Let me waste your time. Set up feet. Do some stupid shit. Take a seat. Let me waste your time. So put your for your innocence, acting like you're into me. I know this is hopeless, moving in slow motion, trying to control my thoughts, but I can't stop our body talk. This is a no-go, I just can't take hold. This is a danger zone, back up and get me home. This is a no-go, I just can't take hold. This is a danger zone, back up and get me. So put your hand in mine. Follow me, let me waste your time. Set up feet, do some stupid shit. Take a seat, let me waste your time. Set up feet. So put your